We are live once again and back on track, doing our thing live once again. Yo, okay, so check it out. Everybody out there in TV land, we are Clicked Up, the podcast series, and we are coming right back at you. This time we're right on time as far as the day. We're still working on the time thing, but we are in the building. We have more of the cast. And if you can hear that in the background, what you are hearing is the mix maker mixing up what we are dubbing the apple chartini in the building. And we're doing something dope, great, special.
Let me know what you think.
What we're thinking.
Give me 1 second.
Oh, while you're up, can you put ice in your cup?
I like that. It had a little tang. It had a little zip. It had a little something in it.
This is good.
Like
Yeah,
it?
you like it. You like it. You like it.
Ice,
God,
yeah,
that
and
stuff that
then
sneak up on you.
So
can you get a just another cup I can mix it in?
I hope you like our background sounds. We're upgrading it.
We're
You know what I'm saying?
getting
We're gonna
there.
definitely give y'all a experience in here. Again, I am Jive English, one of the amazing hosts of this show. Everybody in this show is a host. So you know what I'm saying?
I thought you was gonna say everybody in the show is a hoe. I'm about to say, whoa now. Today's not Friday.
Somebody gotta go to work again
Okay, it is Sunday. We cut all that off on Sunday.
on Sunday. Not on the Lord's Day.
Nah,
Not when he rested. We
Sundays
don't do it
and
like
Mondays
that.
because I got to be responsible.
So, I am Jive English. I know I don't like make a lot of eye contact. I'm not a photogenic creature. So if you're watching, I'm not that dude. But Henny is like doing 30,000 things other than manning
It's all good.
the switcher.
It's all
Are you
good.
still cooking?
No, Henny's wearing many hats today.
Many hats. Henny's out here cooking and doing
And it's-
amazing things.
I wish y'all could smell. I cannot. I honestly am disappointed at technology because I thought by now we'd be able to smell
Smell-o-vision.
through. You know what I mean? Through our devices.
Right.
Yeah.
I do smell my device when it's on all the time. Is that Bernstein? What we got?
Can you like tag me on Facebook so I can like tag some people?
Okay. Yeah. We'll bring you in.
I think everybody need to hear this when we about to deliver.
Yes.
So I'm about to tag
Yes.
you right now. I'm about to tag you.
I think I was just looking at your pictures today too on Facebook. I think they came across. Maybe. I don't know. Actually, don't give me the line. Don't give me the
Don't
line.
get me the line, child.
Because I'm good for that. Hold on, let me get my specs on. Because I might have seen.
I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can bring this all the way open. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, we need to add each other.
Let me see if
Yeah,
I
we do.
can. I'm about to tag you. You're gonna come up in the comment section.
Excited. This is gonna be a good
Yeah,
show.
we in
not
that
that
show
not that
now.
our other shows weren't, but
We was wilding a little bit.
yeah, a
It's
little
good
bit.
to
Just a
it's
little
always
bit.
good to have other energy around.
Yes.
Other people that come together and you get along with them and
Right.
it's a good vibe. Because you know we all have a story.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna need your mic, baby.
Oh yeah, you gotta put your
You
mic.
gotta bring your mic.
Oh.
Gotta bring your mic.
Oh, to me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Face it towards you, like kind of like shotgun.
Oh. Shotguns. That's okay. Is that
Oh,
it?
I might
You
need to
tighten it.
tighten it.
You might have to help hers because her might
Yeah.
be the
Still
same
loose?
thing that
Alright.
mine's doing.
Yeah, it's still loose. It's not.
Loosey goosey.
All right. Was that good?
Twist it around. I kind of wrap mine around the cord without messing up the cord.
I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna put it up because.
Was that what? That's what it was. She knows. She had the experience, so she got it. You was on point, girl.
Now bring it a little closer to you.
Okay.
A little mic.
That sounds better. Because I'm so loud. Trust me.
No. We got the
Okay.
we got the compressor on. You gonna
Okay,
come in
good.
real nice and even.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all know about us loud folks.
Yeah, I'm about to
Okay.
say all of us loud. So, except for maybe Maya.
Yeah.
Maya's not loud at all.
I was thinking about that.
She
in the
mess
car.
around and make you think your stuff ain't working.
But Maya is the type of person that you need in your life when you are loud and your anxiety is high. You know, she'll look at you like, "Are you okay?" You know. So,
No, I look at you like you crazy.
Is there echo?
is
there
it
echo?
Is there echo from the mic being on?
I think somebody's playing.
Oh no, I'm playing it on my phone.
We should probably
Yeah.
turn it down so
Turn
it
it down.
doesn't.
There you go. We're down.
Be the one that messes up.
I swear. Listen,
I'm
I
doing
was.
too much all the time.
Yep.
So while we are just chilling in here, we're gonna have a little mic switcherino in a minute. So we're gonna be having some fun. But
should I tell them about what I made?
Please.
Yes.
All right. I don't know if y'all can see my camera right now, but this is.
Hold on. Give him a second. Let him put it down.
Oh,
he's gonna switch cams. Switcherino.
You might have to go out and come back in.
Is it what we're looking at? You don't see Rachel? You're on me.
You go back. Come back to you.
That's Maya.
Okay, I just opened it back up.
Oh, that was hers. Is she on? Let me see.
Well, while we wait, do y'all ever have like Issa Rae type moments in the car where you just make up raps?
Yeah. You know I do. I definitely do. I definitely have moments where, and it depends on like, it's usually inspired by anger, like, or frustration. Where I'm like, I gotta get it out. And I don't relate. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a rapper or a poet by any measure, but
I tell myself I'm a rapper, but I'm not.
well, listen, I have a rap name. And it's a little embarrassing. I've had it since middle school.
The camera's on you.
My rap name is Ray. Oh my god, what the fuck? Why am I saying that? Rap name that was made up in middle school is Ray Money Too Fat.
Ray Money way too fat, ain't it? Way too fat.
Period. Yeah. So what we looking at is what did we call it? An apple chartini.
Chartini.
Yes. Because we forgot the tonic water, so we improvised with Chardonnay, and it's a hit, y'all. Like I know how to make something out of nothing. Okay.
That's right.
And when I tell you, it is so good. So I just use a little bit of Chardonnay here. I put like 2-3 shots, just enough to coat the bottom. Just a little bit.
Right.
Then we got some regular old Chardonnay, barefoot. Literally, all my ladies know. That's the go-to. I got some barefoot in my fridge now that I'm probably about to hit when I get home.
I know that's right.
And then let's see, I filled up most of the cup with that and topped it off with some apple pucker flavoring, which is awesome. And then garnish with some lemon, put a little bit of lemon juice inside to get that. And we there, honey. We are there. You see it? You hear them cup glasses rattling in the back.
We also have some amazing food in the building. That's gonna happen.
By House Henny.
Henny's in the house. Henny's on the beats and the eats. He's on everything. So we are about to launch into the whole epic episode. If you are in the building, if you are paying attention, you're about to have some fun. We're about to have a conversation about some live stuff today, man.
Yes.
So, with that being said, we're gonna launch right into it. I am Jive English. To my left is the amazing, the everything. She does it all. Like I'm
literally,
she probably does plumbing. She probably
listen. I'm low key a mechanic. Legit.
Yes, many hats.
Right, the artist, the tattoo artist, the pull-up artist. She'll pull up on you. You don't think she will, but she might. She's in the building.
Period.
Art by Maya is in the building.
Yes,
Show your love.
Yes.
Oh, we're passing out.
Passing out plates, y'all.
Passing out plates. We're about to
cook out with what did we say it was?
Cook out with Cliqu'd.
Yeah, the Clicked Up cookout. Yeah. We gotta have y'all. We gotta do that for real. We really gotta have a cookout in real life.
In real life. Also, the small one's for me, and then you take the big one back to him. Yeah.
You wanted me to put this on here, right? The chips. Cause I don't want to touch nobody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's gonna do his own
gonna
thing.
put some. Okay. Do you some? Yeah.
Okay. So everybody can just dip.
Yep.
Yeah, one big bowl.
And a spoon. We need a spoon.
Baby, sip.
And excuse us, everybody. We just trying to get our eat right.
You know how we
Right,
do.
get in the situation.
Y'all know how we do. It's
situation.
a house full of ethnic
Please,
folks.
please tell the people what is it. Why is it so important? You must eat food when you're drinking.
Yes, well, partially because I don't want to be responsible for
Right.
you when you know what I'm saying.
Right.
You get pulled over by the police and all that.
Right.
Put something on your stomach, soak
Right.
it that liquor. Especially gin, y'all. Y'all know how gin do. You would sneak up on you 1 minute you feeling good, the next minute you crying. You don't know why, child. So definitely with these appletinis, make sure you eat some and soak up all that liquor.
Yes. Amen.
You gotta say liquor when you drink. When you drinking gin, you gotta say liquor. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Too much. Y'all, why? Is anyone else addicted to TikTok like I
So
am?
you are watching like Thanksgiving and Clicked Up. We are passing the plate.
Literally passing the plate.
I just need a few
Just a little dab.
just a little dab
Thank
of
you,
do
mama.
I'm just gonna grab a few. I don't even.
And
Bam.
then,
That's all I need.
and then, Jive, if you can pass me that cup there so I can get Henny right.
We're good.
Yeah, we Gucci. I know y'all. I know they like. Ooh, I wish I could eat with them.
Y'all, they gonna hear us smacking.
They.
This is Clicked Up the ASMR
Yeah.
episode. This is where it gets a little
Yeah.
a little much.
Well, it's all right, y'all.
We about to be in here eating.
It's just a vibe.
It's a whole vibe. I like that. It is a vibe in here. This is how we kick it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just kicking it.
All right. With all that being said, we're about to switch over to.
We gotta finish introducing.
Yeah.
we're about to switch over to Rachel because Rachel, the mix maker, is in the building,
Oh,
yo.
that's MIXXMAKER, you guys. Yes, I.
Please check out these people on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes, and TikTok. Don't forget TikTok.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
Just
all
out here
all
making
the
some
things,
drinks, man.
All the things. Look them up on all the things.
All the things.
Let me see.
All right, sound went out on the right side for me.
Right. Okay. So yeah. And then we have a special guest. It wouldn't be Clicked Up if we didn't click up with an amazing person out and about in the community making like a whole bunch of things happen, man.
Yes.
I'm gonna do a little cute little intro for her. I met this lady.
Hold up. Before y'all eat, make sure y'all pray.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
thank you.
hold
See,
on.
I told y'all. Did I
Yeah.
tell y'all? I told you. All
Okay,
right, go
okay.
ahead.
Anybody want to lead the prayer? Or we praying in our heads?
You gotta bring.
No,
it
we
to-
let you
Oh,
pray.
okay.
You go ahead.
You wanna do it?
Oh, okay. It's real short and simple.
Okay.
Lord, thank you for the food that we have received, for the nourishments of our bodies. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
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 Thank you.
All right. Now, I heard all of that. I heard every ingredient.
I want,
Do you
I
understand
want
me?
the recipes of this. This
All
is
right.
so good.
Right now, our special guest is in the house. I want you guys to show your love right now for the amazing, the talented EP.
Oh, thank you. I feel so special.
Hey.
Right. So I want to give a little background into how I met this lady. She makes it sound real humble, like, you know, but I was just starting, you know, like rapping and like putting my music actually out there, right? And I was at work, and somebody hit me up like 8:00 in the morning and was like, I have a lady who wants to meet you. We heard your music, and we really like it.
Dope.
Like, it couldn't have been like, you know what I mean, cloud nine. I was like, I felt validated. And it was a gentleman by the name of Mike.
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, big man.
Right.
He hit me up. He's a cameraman. He was like, yo, we heard your music and we just like really like your sound. And I was rocking with a group. We didn't have a specific name, but we were just rocking. And we were just like, yo, this lady wants to meet us. She wants to interview us. And she, like, you know, she New York. You feel me? So
right.
it sounded, you know, they be talking fast.
Yes, we do.
So it sounded super official. She could have sold me, you know what I mean? She could have sold me a lake in the Sahara. You feel me? Like, I was like, for real, a whole lake for me?
She could have told you it was in a back alley. Yeah, nigga. All the water you want. And desert.
10, 9, 9, 5.
That's it. Just go past the crack can over there.
Right.
Past the trash cans.
Right. If you meet the meth head, you went too far.
If you see the stray dog, you right there.
Right, exactly.
But she definitely, she definitely like gave me a lot of energy, right? And she interviewed us, and it felt professional, and it was professional. It wasn't a feeling; it was professional. And then I find out she's working with Savannah State University. A little bit down the line, she's working with Savannah State University, their radio network.
Oh, dope! I love their radio.
Yeah.
And so check it out. She might not. She put me on. I was on the radio with her for like a month or two.
For real, I might have
was
heard.
her
When? What
co-host.
year was this?
This was like 2012.
I was definitely. I probably heard you then.
I was
Because I
and
definitely
she
was there
had me-
listening.
And Charles Carlito?
And Charles Carlito baby was
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, he put because Charles put me on, right?
Oh, that's lit.
So I was.
Yeah.
Listen, everything is coming full circle.
Right,
Literally
right.
in college, I was listening to y'all.
Charles put us on. We would put all the new artists.
Yo, they was playing
Right.
my music on there too. Like I felt official. You couldn't tell me nothing. Like they be like, "What are you doing?" I got a radio. I gotta go do my show. I was always late though. They had to let me go. They had to. It was okay. They had to let me go. I was always my baby mama at the time was not trying to.
Well, if it means anything, I was only 6 minutes late today.
Only. Yeah, you are bringing it in the rear. But no. It's the amazing EP, man.
Yes.
So much.
You are from New York.
Yes.
What in the world brought you to Georgia? And not like Atlanta, Georgia, where everybody thinks Georgia.
Yeah, I just think that. I just think Atlanta was like Georgia. Like, you know, I
That's
know
the only city.
I
it
know
got.
that's like, yo, stay in school. Like, stop playing. Like, you know, because we didn't really pay no mind, but literally a lot of people in New York, that's what we thought it was because so many people would talk about the ATL.
Well, see, like when I think of New York, all I think is like the downtown.
You don't think
New
about
York.
Brooklyn and Manhattan and all stuff like that.
I don't
Right,
think about
right.
but like my friends are like, no, like there's houses with yards. There's like, and I'm like, that's not you, New York. I ain't never been to New York. How am I gonna tell somebody else that's not you,
Right,
New York?
exactly.
But yeah, I get it.
But what brought me down here is a lot of times, like, I grew up around a lot of celebrities. Like, we was little, Run DMC, LL Cool J. They would, like, drive us to school when we was little. 50, Chris, we all grew up together. Biggie, I just met a lot of people, and where we come from, we have this urge of realness, and we have to do what we have to do in order to make things happen because too many people are making things happen. And New York is more or less like, listen, if you ain't gonna do it, somebody else gonna do it. And it's constantly moving so fast. However, being so hyped up and stuff, I just was like, I wanted to like find myself. I needed to be somewhere where it was more calm. It was more relaxing. So I always knew the South was, but I had that kind of mom. Don't tell nobody your business. Let's all live in the house together, like the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans. And I'm like, no, we don't even get along. Like, like whatever. Like, how your spirit is like, it's well, let me put it like this. It's kind of like a tiger in a cage, right? And they lock a tiger up. You lock them up for a reason because they're gonna feel something because it's something else out there. So I felt like it was something else out there. However, my best friend, when we graduated from high school, he was supposed to be on the basketball team. He didn't make it to the basketball team because of his leg messed up. So the Army, he went into the military. So when he went into the military, he moved to Virginia. And he was like, he would always come out my house to check on me or whatever. And he's like, when you moving down there? So we moved to Virginia. I like Virginia because Virginia was like right next to Washington. It just made me feel more
Like in that DMV.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm moving from home, but I'm not moving from home.
Right. You still get the same vibe, the energy.
Vibe. Right. So when I lived in Virginia, I got married. That's a whole other story. It was very toxic.
How long were you married?
For my first husband, I was married for like, a year and a half, 2 years. And I was trying to, let's just say this, because I know this is another story, a whole nother level. Let's just say I knew I had to get away from him. So I had to do one of those things where I'm going to the store, I'm coming back and never come back. So that's what I did. Yeah.
Yep, I understand.
And my aunt, she was from Queensbridge up in New York. So she was in Savannah. So I was like, this is the perfect place. So however, I came down here with her, and that's when I was like, oh, this vibe is even more relaxing than Virginia. So, but Virginia prepared me for it. I needed
So it
peace.
wasn't such a culture
Yeah.
shock. You
Right. I needed peace.
Yeah.
So I didn't care about, because the one thing I knew about myself, like, I am the energy. I am the light. So I don't
Yep.
care about where I go because
Yeah.
I'm going to produce that. You know?
And I think that's so true. Like people are always like, I want to. I understand sometimes like a city change, like that shift is necessary, but you're gonna fall into your old habits if you're not committed to change.
Exactly.
regardless of where you go.
I like
You know,
that.
so it's you have to be committed because you can literally find whatever you're looking for, possibly in the city that you're in, or create it in the city that you're in. You know, but we often, I mean, I'm used to moving from city to city, so I found myself getting antsy staying in Savannah. But being that I didn't grow up here, I feel like I can tolerate it more than some people that have lived here. How long have you been in Savannah?
I've been in Savannah like over 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years. I love it. I wouldn't
Me
change it for the
too.
world.
I love it. I love Savannah, but I find that most people that are like grew up here, they're like dying to get out. And
Well,
I'm
I
like,
can
just
understand
travel,
that too.
you know?
Yeah, it's travel. I think I can understand that too. That's like me being in New York. The one thing about New York was the living. It's not enough algae, meaning that it's not enough trees and things that we can breathe. And when you go up, I just went up to New York to see my mom. Like, mental health is real. Like, these people are walking around all over the street. And I'm like, my God, this is how I grew up. Now, where we live at, they're not having that downtown in Savannah and historic and all of that. You're going in the hospital. We're coming to pick you up. You're not walking around in our community. We're going to
Scaring all these white folk tourists.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You're not messing up our money.
Yeah.
So in New York, it is real out there. So, but coming down here is the best thing I ever did in my life, and I just needed change, and I wanted a family and children. So when I had my kids, I don't care what nobody say, kids deserve peace.
Yes.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't need to be, in with a lot of chaos or whatever. We lead as an example, and it was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
So that's why.
So we already went over some of your accolades. Tell us some more about what you do. You work with SSU Radio. What else?
Well, after SSU, Kenya Kabine was a good friend of mine. He put me on to E93, the Ricky Smiley show. So I started doing that. That was a whole nother level. Like, I was meeting so many people. When I started meeting like celebrities and stuff like that, I don't want to say any names. I'm scared because I don't want to. No, forget that. You know what? Let me say it. So,
we ain't nobody yet.
Doing the
Not yet.
girl, right? We all good. They ain't gonna sue us, right? They ain't gonna right
Not yet.
So, working. I'm just being honest. Like working for the Ricky Smiley show, right? So then you come in and now I'm actually meeting Ricky Smiley. You know what I'm saying? So I'm behind the scenes at the concert. I'm introducing. I'm hyped. So you start really seeing these celebrities for what they really are. And
What's your perspective?
yeah. So when I meet him, right, I got my cameraman Mike and everybody with me. We in the back. So we going up to Ricky Smiley and with the cameras and stuff. Ricky Smiley was like, yo, like what who told y'all to come in here with the camera? I'm like, oh shit, like, oh my God.
He's
like
intense?
Right. Like when I tell you he's an asshole.
I can believe it though.
Yes, he is very rude and disrespectful.
I don't know him from a can of paint, but you know how sometimes you can kind of imagine what someone's personality is. I think it was Marlon Wayans. He said that he was a very strict parent, right? People assume that he was like a fun, jokey joke kind of parent. He was like, no, my kids know not to play with me kind of vibe, right? But I sense that from him because I don't know why. I can't really tell you, but I definitely sense the asshole is from Ricky Smiley.
Do you think his profession changed him and turned him into that way?
Yes, I'm gonna tell you why. I don't like I don't like the vibe that I felt, but I understand it. Sometimes you don't have to like something, but you need to understand it.
Right.
And I think what happened was the industry has traumatized him a lot. They have disrespected him. They have did things where he felt like he probably was doing something right. But this is what social media is all about when you put yourself out there. You have to prepare yourself for the good and the bad. Who the heck told you you're going to come out here in the whole world and everybody's going to say something positive about you and see the little boy in you.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So I kind of understood it. Now let me say this now. I think that I just walked away. I just was like, yo, whatever. And he did apologize. He pulled me to the side and he was like, I'm sorry. He's like, I'm sorry. I really didn't mean that, but I'm like, yo, it's cool, like, whatever. But at the same time, I'm saying to myself, like, who is this man's publicist? Who is behind him?
Because like guiding,
who's guiding him?
advice.
Right, exactly. So, it kind of gave me a reality check. Like, hold up, everybody not gonna be happy to see the camera.
Yeah.
They're not going to be happy to see the camera because the camera has traumatized their life.
Yeah.
And we have to be careful. So what I learned as being on the radio and being in the industry, I've learned that, before we come into these people's face or into their space, we need to ask them, is it okay for us to do this?
Yeah. And it's true. I mean, I just saw a photo of North and she was
I saw that. I did see that. Yeah.
And she was what? She was somewhere and she wrote a sign. And it said, what did it say?
Stop.
Yeah, stop, because they were taking pictures of her. And she was telling she held up a sign that said stop, telling the paparazzi to stop taking pictures of her. And I was like, yeah, I mean, if she were an adult, right, and reacted like how an adult would, which would be like maybe punch the paparazzi or cuss him out. Or,
right.
Whatever. They'd be like, oh, she's irate, da da da. But, it's true. Sometimes the camera, like you said, and experiences being like that in that type of realm, it betrays you,
right?
And then you might have been in some situations where you're doing an interview and you're assuming that they're trying to project you in the most positive light,
and the name,
and then when you see it, you're like, what the fuck was that?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't even. I said that, but that's not what I meant.
Right.
You
I didn't put it in the entire context. You just
Yes.
push that out.
Yeah. So I can totally see that. And I mean, I guess that's nice that he apologized. But see, a person like me, I have a hard time
The grudge.
accepting. Like, I'll forgive you after I cussed you out. That's fine. You can apologize.
That's how he was.
You know what I'm saying? You can apologize. It's fine.
Right.
But like, sit here while I cuss you out, and then I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm cool. Like, cause disrespect is disrespect. I haven't reached that yet to just walk away from certain things. I wish. I'm trying.
And I say walk away because I think that I walked away because I don't want to do anything to make me I don't want to live with no regrets. So the best thing is you're feeling a certain way. And when you're in situations like that, like, you have to think fast. You understand what I'm saying? And before you do something that you are going to regret.
Right.
And I kind of felt it a little bit. I was just like, I could just feel his energy. Like, yo, he been through a lot, but you're not about to put me in the middle of this.
From a damaged place.
Right. And I'm not about to be mixed up in the middle of it. And you are definitely not going to feed off of me with that. I know how my tongue is. So I will rape you from your manhood.
Ooh,
so I don't want to, I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I read something that said that the woman's gift is her tongue. Or the woman's power is her tongue.
Right.
She can speak life into you or kill you with her tongue.
Right. Exactly.
And so I think that's so important to recognize, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't recognize that immediately.
Right.
And I feel like you take a jab at me,
You're getting it back.
getting it back.
Right.
Especially if you're a man, like, I'll just be like, if you did it first, I'm gonna do it worse because I'm a woman. Like,
right, exactly.
You know what I mean? You gotta hear it.
Right.
I'm gonna show you what it means to be sassy, because you think you're being sassy, but you not.
Exactly.
I was born for this because I'm a woman.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
Period.
Okay. So, like, look, like, you're meeting celebrities. Yeah. Like, you're ascending. You're doing all of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You went from local college radio, 93.1. That's a big deal. And you step away.
How was that?
Stepping away was more or less like, what do you mean stepping away? Like, stepping away in which direction? The
Like,
radio
so,
or
like radio? Like, you kind of, like, stepped away. I would say step away. Some people are like, oh, you fell off, but like, if you
all right, stepping away was more or less like I had.
She good.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
the princess warrior over here.
Stepping away was more or less like taking a break and really visualizing what's going on. So let me tell you, so when I got with E93, the director was more of an asshole. Kenya put me on. You know, Kenya is the most genuine person I've ever met in the industry. I mean, his soul is so like he is who you think he is. You know, the dude on the radio, like
Super
super happy, like what you need. You know, I'm here for it.
I remember he got on the radio and announced that he was like, "Yep, that's it."
Right.
Them
He
niggas
did.
ain't paying me.
He's in Atlanta right
Yeah.
now because his mom passed and stuff like that. He is really who he is.
Yeah.
So another guy came in and he was an asshole. He made me feel like if you don't do what I say, you know, this is no more for you. So just imagine yourself being on. And in 1 second, everything is gone. So Mike, which you was talking about earlier, at the time, he passed away. I was just going through all of the stuff. I was diagnosed with like cancer. I was going through all of the stuff at the radio. We bringing in this new director, and all I know is he's coming in. His man wants power. I can tell. You know what I'm saying? So he tells me I'm not good enough, but then he's out here in the streets, you know, talking to these little young girls and stuff like that, making them feel like, oh, I'll put you on. They have no radio experience, no nothing. So, and he's trying to make me feel like
Incompetent.
exactly. So I was like, no, like I'm not doing it. And you want me to work for free? Like, how old do you think I am? Like, you know, I don't intern. Like, who interns at this age? Like, nobody's doing that, especially when you know who you are.
Yeah.
But once again, I understood it. So I had to sit back to really ask myself, is this what I really want? Because this is what's out here.
Yeah.
And this is what people are going to do to you that is in power.
Yeah.
So I just felt like, no, I'm not doing that. If that's what the industry is about, buy industry, let me deal with let me find my own other industry or something else I need to do, because I'm not about to be sitting. This is something that needs to happen when I'm like 17 years old, 18, 20 years old.
Right.
Like I'm not at that age.
When you're susceptible to things like that, and you're like, you know, but when you're established, you're like, who the fuck you talking to?
Especially when you see a grown ass man the same age, and we in our late 30s, and you sitting up here acting like, you know, we little.
Like, sir, you need to be saying ma'am.
Right. Exactly. But also, once again, you see people that they dealing with their pain.
Yeah.
And they're turning their pain and trying to make other people pay for whatever it is that happened in their life.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important when you come out in this industry, you have to know who you are.
Yeah.
You got to have God in your life. You know, you got to know the people that you surround yourself with. When you are losing your mind, that they are putting your mind and reminding you of who you are and whose you are.
Yeah. And
Period.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, who you are and whose you are.
Yes.
I had to slow down for that.
Yes.
No, that's true. I always reflect on Britney Spears and her situation, because you know, I'm a 90s baby, and that's what I grew up listening to, is Britney Spears. And so to me, she's my Madonna. And I always think about like the people that she had in her corner, because everyone assumed that her sister was her spokesperson, her advocate. And then you find out that her sister was literally doing the same thing her parents were doing. And I'm like, who does this woman have in her corner? And there was all of that to say, I think that is something to take away from that, because all of the celebrities, especially the ones that grew up in the industry, they always mention their support system.
Look
like
at
Zendaya, Beyonce, you know, Keke Palmer, like literally her parents, and you know, they're literally I mean, we can even consider Kim Kardashian, regardless of how her career is, you know what I mean?
But her mom.
But she's protected. She has someone that is looking at her better interest, whether it's for money or not.
And she
you know what I mean?
listens. You
Right?
gotta listen.
And she listens exactly. And Keke Palmer listens, and Zendaya, you know, listens. I think it is important, especially in something like that, you know. I had an experience with doing internship, and I did it for like 2 months, and I was like,
that's it, right?
Yep, can't do it. Yep. So, and I was at Savannah State at the time, and I was like, I can't do this shit.
Right.
You're better.
So
than me.
tell us what was one of the experiences that you experienced?
It was with this individual. I'm not going to say his name, because he's a little bit more local and he can sue me.
Right. Okay, that part. Right.
But you know, just over time, I just realized that, I mean, even though he did give me some experience, there was experience there. I realized that because I was younger, that he was almost soliciting my image and, you know, whatever I brought to the table to like give himself clout and give himself validity. So instead of giving me the validity with just what he has going on, I realized that when I was in spaces with him, I was the validity. And I was like,
I don't think so.
and you're making money. Nope, cut it off because bitch ain't interning. So
and ain't spreading the wealth. Like,
yeah, not spreading the wealth. I mean, the knowledge, cool, but like after 2 months, I got what I needed.
Exactly, you know? That was enough.
Yeah.
So we're about to dive right into it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
'Cause, you know, we don't got but so much
Yes.
time. We ain't gonna run.
I'm gonna interrupt here.
Go ahead.
Okay, Henny is back there. What we got?
Yeah,
big
put the
hand?
cam.
I don't have
Oh.
a cam on myself.
Oh,
It sounds like y'all are enjoying the food.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so good.
we need to.
I need the recipe. I definitely need the
We
recipe.
need to give a shout out to the host because the food is.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate
This
this.
show is shot live.
I'm used to cooking for everybody.
from the House of Henny.
Yes, House of Henny. Let me put the cam on him real quick.
House
if
of
you can
Henny.
see right
Yes,
here in the
yes,
back.
yes,
There we
the
go.
Hold on. Let him switch cams so everybody can see the love. Let everybody see the love.
Right back.
Yes, yes.
Y'all.
I can't see you because the cord thing.
No. He got it. I fixed it. I think.
Okay.
You can see it? No.
Okay. I saw it. Okay.
Yeah, Henny did the. Listen, we got but what is this? Buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken.
Woo,
From
it's
scratch.
fire. And let me tell you something from scratch. Because listen, I had it at I think Buffalo Wild Wings or one of them Wild Wing places. Better simply because he has scallions.
Got scallions.
For that simple fact, but also because the flavor is really good.
The flavor is on point. The flavor is on point.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So we're about to go into our official societal
Yes, let's
observation
get
of the evening.
deep.
And then we're gonna go in deep. We're gonna go fast. We only got 20 minutes. We're gonna get it right.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go into some relationship.
Yes.
Yes. And by the way, I'm giving until 9:30 only because I did not know we had a special guest.
Me either.
So if we need some extra time, y'all got till 9:30, and that's it because I already cooked for my man, so that's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. We in the building. We in the building.
Yep.
So we're gonna talk about. Last week we introduced the idea of talking about cliches, right? Like just everybody in society kind of like just speaking through like talking points that you already got from somewhere else, some meme, some hashtag or whatever. So I wanted to zoom in on another one, right? And this one kind of gets at me because on its face it looks right. On its face it looks like it's insightful and thoughtful, but the way it's being used, for me, it just feels like she's over here giggling. I
Sorry.
I
I just love it. I'm enjoying myself. I'm sorry. I'm just enjoying myself.
That Shartini getting to it.
Yeah, that Shartini,
sorry.
baby. It always gets us right around this
Shartini.
time. The drinks always start hitting.
Let that Shartini and that buffalo sauce start to mingle.
And it's so good. It tastes so. It really, literally. I'm serious, y'all. Tastes so good.
Yes, it's
And it's
like,
not because we've been drinking.
No,
Right,
it's
I'm
just
serious.
good.
Yeah.
We tried it before we started drinking, and it was good. So that's how we know.
It was on point.
Yep.
So on its face, right, this idea sounds amazingly insightful, thoughtful, sounds human. But the way it kind of manifested itself in pop culture became problematic when I started to look at it, right? Because I'm lonely. I don't have a life, so I just be looking at shit like, huh. Just open mouthed it. You ever just open mouthed it, look at shit? I'm a creep for social issues. I just stare at it and they don't even like me like that.
Right. I feel you.
I think you're gonna pass the giggles. Maya, your turn
No,
next.
we know how you get down, Rachel. Like we don't. You wasn't here last
I can't help
week.
it.
She
Listen,
passed
the
out.
question was, do you give head what you do, right?
What's wrong? Why you look like that?
She's crying already. This is what happened.
Travis looking like, yo. I'm sorry. All right. Okay.
I think the main thing that got her.
Questions that people
No, I
really
think the
want to
main
know.
thing that got her is when I said about him having it tilted.
Right. The questions people want to know. Job, it's all love, Job. I swear to God, yo. It's all love.
I forgot you said that. Oh shit! Yes, that was a part. That was the part that sent me out the motherfucking side, bitch. Because I'd be like, if you don't snatch this motherfucker off.
Okay.
Yeah,
anyway,
snatch
can
your
I
wig.
do the
I'm sorry. I just
I
needed
had a
her to
whole-
experience that because
Right.
that shit is funny.
Right.
I woke up
how
the
it-
next morning laughing because I was like, that shit fucking
Yo, but you know what? It's funny she says that. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead with you. I know you got a certain amount of time. Let me leave it alone. Let me say this one little thing. Let me tell you, you're doing a good job. I'm going to tell you why. Because I learned this in my anger management class. A guy came on there. He knew the guy that was teaching it. And he called him Papa. The guy really looked like Papa Smurf. And the guy was explaining, like, you see how he called me Papa Smurf? And you see I didn't get an attitude or anything like that. But he was explaining to you're doing awesome.
Yes.
Because she doesn't mean it like. And what I.
Look, all the feelings I had about it, she laughed out of my the way
Right.
she laughed, I had to laugh. Like, I was so mad at myself for laughing like that. Like, why am I laughing?
Right.
Why?
You was mad at yourself for laughing?
Now I'm wondering, do I take this motherfucker off?
Right.
He probably gonna think about it the next time.
The thing is, though, I mean, we've all had hair from a dude that was still wearing his do-rag because, I mean, you don't think about it at the time. You know what I'm saying? He just wrapped up, you know what I'm saying? Things happen.
I'm gonna shut up. I'm not even gonna get into that.
You know what I'm
I'm getting
saying?
too tipsy right now. Let me be quiet.
It was what sent me over, and you just reminded me is what she when she said, "Do be to the side," cause do it.
Okay, so back to what we were talking about. Y'all were living in grace. Y'all are losing all the grace I got.
That's it. God damn
That's
it.
it.
You good?
I'm good for right now. I got to do my whole spiel.
All right. Go ahead. My bad.
All right.
Sorry.
The term of the day is protecting your peace. You hear it all over the place. Like, everybody is protecting your peace. Protect your peace at all costs. Right? So then I had to think about it. Like, so I like to analyze words. I like to look at words. And it says protecting your peace. And I was like, so what does protecting mean when you're talking about that? Right? So I just textbook shit is, it means that you're defending or keeping safe something from theft or damage. Right? So if that's what you consider protecting, then you consider your peace something that can be stolen or damaged. Right? And so then I thought about that. So then to believe that, you have to believe that your peace is under attack from outside forces. Somebody is purposefully attacking to take and or damage your peace. But if you look at our behavior in society, if you look at the way we behave, we be out here with the shits. We're in the clubs. The peace ain't in the club. Peace ain't on the block, but we out here in it. And then we want to be able to go outside, raise all the havoc and the hell that we want to raise. We want to, that part. We want to do all the doing, and then recluse back to our little safe place and go, this is safe. Like when you play tag, no, you don't get to tag out. You was in it. And then now you want to like recluse and go, oh no, the reason why I don't deal with what I put out there is because I'm protecting my peace.
Right. Like if you're, the first example was like a relationship thing. Like let's say you step out on your partner,
Right.
but then you don't want to deal with the consequences of that, so you remove yourself in the name of protecting your peace, but really you're avoiding accountability.
Right. So then exactly.
So
right?
my question is, sorry for cutting you off, but my question is, do you think that phrase or cliche is an excuse to be disrespectful?
A lot of times, like, so here's another thing. So people use protecting your peace and then they use another phrase. Like, people will like say some wild shit and then say respectfully.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then like
And it's like nothing respectful about what you just said.
right, like, so first of all, the way you was laughing at me about my do-rag, and then I go in on some wild shit and go, but respectfully, and it's just like, yo,
Or if I laughed and at the end of it, I was like, respectfully.
Like, no, it's like, no, you meant all of the sauce that you put on it. And then you think, you remember that one movie, what was that one movie? Rosewood? Was it Rosewood?
You took it back.
Yeah, remember Rosewood?
I love Rosewood.
And whenever he would always start with, forgive me, or he would say something like, excuse me, sir, like, and then he would say what he was going to say on some wild boy shit. And at the end of the movie, it was like, you think just because you say, excuse me, sir, that you could just say what the fuck you was going to say, regardless of excuse me, sir.
Yep.
You feel me? And I'm supposed to just go, well, he did say sir. So,
Yeah.
so it's like, nah, like it's really a manipulation of language. You know what I'm saying? So people really use protecting their peace as a manipulation of language. It's really manipulating your position. Like, the way I treat you isn't about me, insulting you or assaulting you. It's about me behaving defensively for the sake of my peace.
Yeah.
So,
I definitely think in some circumstances for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, going over a little bit more of my notes here. A lot of times, when we're talking about protecting our peace, we like to like demonize the other and say that these people are haters, these people are this, that, and the third, Leos, whatever word you need to use in order to demonize them. But a lot of times we're that same person. If you look at your behavior, you're the exact same person that you say you don't like, that you say you're protecting your peace from. You know what I mean?
I mean, I kind of a little bit off topic, but I think about that in the same way when we have those, when we have like the gung ho Black Power that just like everything is the reason why this entire world exists is because of Black folk, and you know what I mean? It's like you almost adopt a sense of racism and status because of your race in the same way that white people do. So what makes us different if we have literally the
She over here
same
showing
thought
the
process?
food, like,
Yeah, she's like, can't. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I distracted y'all.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Because I'm eating, and I know people are like, when somebody's like, what was she eating?
What
I'm
is
sorry.
that? No.
Yeah, so I'm just showing it off, and you know how people be doing the food thing, stuff like show them the food. They in my mouth.
No, please,
I'm sorry.
please, no. We need all the camera angles because we're gonna plug all that in.
I'm sorry.
Plug all that in.
I'm sorry, because some people could be looking at it like, what are they eating? Different levels. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, for real. You got to see
you want to show?
the
I don't know
dip.
if they saw. You want to show them again? You want to show them again?
No, I'm showing
Yeah.
right now. Like,
You gonna show them again? Let's show them the food. Let's show them a little bit.
It's
Bam.
so good. You
See
see
all
the
the
scallions?
look how pretty that is. Oh, look how
Got
pretty
color.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just take it and you dip it, and
Literally.
that's it. Chicken what?
Buffalo chicken dip.
Buffalo chicken dip.
Ooh,
Like,
made
that's
by
good.
Henny.
Made by Henny.
Yeah.
We got to add this on the menu when we
All
get our
Venue?
restaurant / venue / whatever.
Event space.
I ain't eat all day neither. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to eat. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, please.
Right.
Food is the thing. But I do like when I talk to, and it's not that because I was this person that was like, Black people, the originator of everything, right? But then I realized I'm literally turning into the people that I dislike. I'm literally judging white people.
That's so deep.
I'm literally super, you know what I'm saying? Like it developed a racism in me to where everything that white people did was like, that's because of Black people. And it's like, I'm now.
Well, so okay, so I can dig what you're saying, but I think also, right? So there's levels to this, right? And you could definitely, from an underclass, be prejudiced, right? But I do not think, if we're looking at what racism is as a societal function, I don't think Black people, Hispanic people can be racist. There's no consequence to.
But you said Black who can't be racist?
Yeah, like because
Systematically, no.
Yeah, like so that's what I mean. There's a difference between there's levels. So there's a difference between prejudice and racism, right?
Right.
We all anybody can be prejudiced, but there's no racism is where there's a consequence for the prejudice.
Right.
Black people do not have an ability to make our outlook on white people consequential to their existence. White people can be completely like there are white people in this world who have never seen a Black person up close, never had to really interact with us
Conversation.
conversation. They have all their assertions about what we are from social media, whatever. But they're considered completely viable, intelligent, thoughtful capable adults.
Yeah.
You cannot in this country be of any other ethnic background and be considered a thoughtful, intelligent, worldly, understanding adult and not understand the consequences of interacting with whiteness. That's where racism lives. If I walk around here ascribing to whiteness, there's a consequence for that.
Oh, let me ask you this. Hold up, real quick, because this is very important what you're saying.
Right.
And it goes along. I'm riding off of it right now. I'm not cutting you off.
No, go ahead.
Do you think that sometimes people, it's all about your experience? Like I grew up in like if you look at my family portrait, you will see all kind of levels on different races. So we never grew up with judging people or white people are like this. Do you think that really comes from people that have had a bad experience with racism and then they try to put everybody else to come along on their team? Because if you sat here and told me white people this, white people that, I'm like, I don't feel that way. Well, I'm just saying, I'm speaking. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I mean, I think it's more than the daily interactions. Like, so when you're talking about racism, right? Like, I've had a nice cop pull me over.
too.
That does not mean that the system of policing in black communities is not something that needs to be indicted. Just because this guy was a nice guy. I'm not talking about retail. We're talking about distro level. We're talking about organizational level, how this thing was built.
Like over time.
I'm not, the doorman could be really nice, but when I get into this building and find the structural inequities, that's what we're talking about. So black people do not have any structure in the society under which white people can find themselves victimized by. You know what I'm saying? There just doesn't exist. So you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter if the white guy is nice. It doesn't matter if the police guy is nice. The laws that he is made to enforce mitigate your life. It doesn't matter if he smiled when he gave you the ticket. It doesn't matter if he smiled when he enforced the law. The law in and of itself is the indictment of your existence. So
I agree to an extent. Like, I feel like if we understood our buying power and we understood just our power in general and came to a conclusion about that as black people, then racism would not be as big as we think it is. Because I think that, like you said, racism, what separates prejudice from racism is power, right? Your systematically, right? But 14 point something trillion dollars worth of buying power is a lot for black people. That's all over the world, not just in, you know what I'm saying? So if we understood that and we collectively were like, you know what, as a whole, the darker flesh you are, the worse the struggle, and that's literally everywhere. The darker skin you are, you're struggling more. Then we can come together as a collective and figure out what our buying power is and pull that, because no company nowhere anywhere wants to lose 14 something trillion dollars, but we allow it because we don't know our power. And this goes back to the whole conversation where we are so quick to be like, well, that's not black people problems, but literally everything is a black person problem. If you believe that you are the original walking people of this earth, if this is what you believe, if you're one of those people that studied African history and you're super pro black and like fuck all white people, if you're on that extreme, then you believe that you're the originator, which means that you are also the leader, which means that at some point, somehow, some way, we've lost our vision of ourselves and we've allowed this. When Kanye said racism was a choice or slavery was a choice, he wasn't saying that we all chose that. He's saying that after the act of slavery, after we've had the knowledge presented to us that this is what happened, we still chose the slavery mindset.
Well, okay, so
And we do.
So there are terms, like I'm one of those people. Like, so there are terms that we use inappropriately, right? And it assumes some sort of natural phenomenon that happened, right? So when you said, we lost something, you didn't lose anything. It was taken. You didn't lose your perception of yourself. Your perception of yourself was taken and replaced by another perception.
But it's like
that was-
self-esteem. It's like the idea of self-esteem. When we say your self-esteem can't be managed by somebody else, your self-esteem is managed by you.
Right. So
The
then
level
you have
of
to-
which we allowed that.
Yeah, but you have to assume that these people had any. Right? So when you think about self-esteem,
So this is my thing. You say think about self-esteem. So my thing is this: we all talk about what happened in the past.
Right.
This is what they did. So this is how I think.
Right.
I'm listen. Everything that
I
I've
like that
done.
she's crisscross applesauce right now.
So how do we move forward? How do we move forward?
Because we can't stay stuck.
Right.
pointing
We can't keep
fingers.
talking about the
So-
same
You know what I'm
thing.
saying? We have to figure out where our power
Right.
is in the
There are
world.
things we have to, in order to be revolutionary, and I forgot who I was talking to. I believe it was one of y'all, or maybe you. I forgot who I was talking to. But you have to be able to completely be willing to dismantle the whole thing, not outside. It has to happen inside.
Yes.
Right? You have to be able to do self-edification, right? That means self-relearning, right? You have to be able to go, I can correct myself. The things that I agreed with.
A lot of people are scared of that.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
and
that's
so
true.
That's
A
what
lot
I'm
of
saying.
people are scared of that
so
process.
the idea of the nuclear family is problematic.
Right.
Maybe the idea of getting it out the mud is problematic. Maybe the idea of individualism is problematic for a people who need to come together in order to amass our power and then have an impact on this world that we control.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? If everybody is like, I'm going to be the one to build generational wealth. I'm going to be the one. You know what you've done? You've created an island unto yourself. And that only supports the people who are, because white people are collective.
Yeah.
They understand their collective bargaining power.
Yeah.
They take it overseas. They take it, what we call it imperialism. So, but black people, when we come together, it's called militarism. So we don't even control what it's called when we come together.
Yeah.
You see
Well,
what I'm
we
saying?
don't, but I mean,
And that's the stuff I'd be confused about.
Yeah.
I'm not joining anything because you say this
Yeah.
is what happens. I really
Right.
need to know.
I need to know
what
what the
happened.
structure-
Like what's going
Yeah.
on. Like what?
Yeah.
What is the structure? Like
because now we have black people, right, that relate to multiple races, right? So you might have the multiracial, the biracial. Like for
Right.
me, for example, I had a hard time figuring out what to identify as. I remember specifically like asking my mom, why are you this color and I'm this color? Why is your hair like this and my hair's like this? And she would have to explain to me constantly, like, your hair is beautiful. People would pay millions of dollars or thousands of dollars to have hair like you. You don't need to change it. I know it hurts when I comb it, but it's fine. It's okay. I wish I had hair like you. Everyone, you need to love your skin because people wish they could tan
Right.
like you. You know, she had to explain this to me, but you might have parents, right? Like white moms with black daughters that don't know to explain that to them.
Right.
And so I forgot why the fuck I even brought all this up, but all of that to say, like, there's so many different dynamics and it's not enough to just be like, you're black, and if you identify as black, this is what the story is, because there's holes in that too.
Right.
And there's a sense of break. If you go too far that way, you're just like them people on that side. You know what I mean? So that you have to find what your balance is, and you have to be able to self-reflect on that.
right.
Well, I don't.
That is true.
To an extent, right? Because I don't, in my estimation of how we got here, you can't be two for the people. For me,
I feel that too.
like if you are,
Yeah.
if you are like if you want to be a white ally and you want to be John Brown down, you my man. You know what I mean? Because you got it. She's really serious about this.
I'm sorry. I just needed.
No, she was like, hold on, wait a second.
Like,
I
yeah, need
need
the recipe
this
for
is
this.
the third or fourth time she's
Sorry.
reiterated this. So,
Anytime somebody make me feel like they're cooking better than me or they doing something better than me, I'm like, yo, hold on,
Yeah.
whoa, I'm
And I
learning.
just gotta point out
sorry.
too that he's Asian and Mexican, so I don't know where
exactly.
the flavors.
Hey, when I tell you the flavor, this is restaurant flavors.
Yes,
Go out.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
So he is on it, y'all. He
Yes.
is definitely on. I had to get me some. I wait.
Listen, he did a little taste test beforehand before he gave it to
Yes.
us too. So I was like, that's how I know it's
This
real.
is definitely about. If I'm out right now talking like the way we talking, like please,
Yes.
like
Let me
this
tell
is.
y'all
Oh my
something.
god, this is so awesome.
He's
Especially with the
trying
drinks?
to
Yeah,
talk.
Too with the drink too?
And I'm about to get us another round as soon as y'all get a little bit closer to the bottom because I need to get some
Henny,
ice.
say what you got to say. Look, your food has been talking for you. They won't let you get a word in
Period.
edgewise.
Yeah.
Period.
But say what you
I
got
love
to say. Say
I love it.
I'll tell y'all. I
You
got
did a
this
good job.
recipe- I got this recipe online from.
You're supposed to lie and
It came from my great grandmother.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
You're supposed to lie.
But this recipe.
This
We
thing
we not plugging
from
no
every inch to the
Henny made
aftertaste.
that.
No, for real. No,
this-
seriously.
This is a southeastern American company.
Don't. Henny made this.
Henny-
Yeah,
I mean, he
period.
made it, but
Period.
That's
The source.
we
No
need to know.
advertising.
That's all
People
we
that's
need
not
to
paying
know.
us.
No, we not.
Right.
I'll
We
give
not
you
in
all the
that
recipe
business.
on air right now.
Okay.
We got shredded chicken. We got cream cheese.
Cream cheese. I tasted that element right there.
ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
yeah.
Frank's Red Hot.
Frank's Red
original
Hot.
sauce. Ranch. You add some ranch into
I love
it, and you
ranch.
add blue cheese.
That's how you know you black. If you love ranch, you black than a mother.
Yeah.
You ain't lying. I love me some ranch. I put it on my salad. I do not play with that.
Salad, pizza,
Ranch,
chicken,
yes, everything.
sandwiches.
I'm
like,
not down with you
Hey.
blue cheese niggas. I
And-
know
and
some of
make
y'all want to
sure-
be different.
Make sure, before you mix everything together, you add 4 cloves of garlic.
I did taste the garlic.
Oh, there
I
we
did
go.
taste
That's
it.
the
The garlic
garlic.
is what the aftertaste is.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you taste it, right?
Yeah.
It tastes so good. I love
it's
garlic.
Fire. It's really,
Italian.
really good.
Think about Italians when I do that. I love Italians.
He used. I understand that. I feel
where
the
you get
same
that.
way.
That's where you get that the wave in your hair. I see that. I see all that. I see that.
Italian. Let me tell you, Italian is my favorite food because
Yeah.
I love their seasonings.
Yes. For
Okay.
me, I think it's Italian and Mexican. Like it depends
Hispanic
on my
food is
my
my
vibe.
oh my God. Like
Yeah.
I can literally eat authentic tacos.
Period.
Every single
Yes.
day of
Every
my
single
life.
You said
day.
authentic?
Yes.
Okay, so what,
What
like, what kind of what do you mean? Like what kind of tacos?
Like when you go in there and they don't speak the language that you
Yeah.
spoke when you ordered.
And they
but you know they
automatically-
making it. But you
Yeah.
know they just making it their way.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So
with
you
the-
like it their way,
with the
not
raw-
your way.
Nah.
Okay.
with the raw onions and
Yes,
cilantro.
Yes.
With the soggy corn tortilla
and then
that you
got the
know
screw.
abuelo.
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos. Let me tell you how Abuela did it. She put it on the fucking skillet with her fucking hands. She don't need no fork.
No gloves.
Nothing. No
No,
gloves.
I seen one. They just used the stove. They didn't use no skillet or
oh, that
nothing.
too. Yep.
I'm just like, well, damn.
That too. But let me tell you, my mama does that. My mama does that. She's like, I mean, everyone mistakes her to be Mexican, but to go back to what you were saying,
Right.
I do agree to an extent, right? But I feel like I received more liberation for my, like, just for the movement when I separated myself from what other people were thinking that I should think as a black person. Because
Oh yeah, there are people who want you to be rank and file.
yeah, like they want you to be like, fuck all white people. And it's like, nah,
No.
because I got white people in my family.
Yeah,
I do too.
exactly.
And I'm not gonna be like, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I also understand what the movement is for.
Right.
So I understand if you're not ride or die for the movement, regardless of who you are, you gotta go.
So I think black people in what they do with that, fuck all white people, is that reactionary impulse to fight fire with fire.
Cause you know how I feel. I barely like white rappers.
I don't at
Barely.
I
all.
like Eminem. I like Eminem.
I like Eminem. I just made a TikTok.
It's the martini.
She said, I like pulmonary embolisms.
She said I like elemental P.
It's the martini, y'all. Look at my cup right now.
I like the table of elements.
Elemental P.
I mean, he's the only white rapper. Oh my God, girl, what did you put else you put in this thing? He's like the only white rapper that I like.
No, but listen, I do fuck with Eminem. Like,
Right.
to
I
the
do
point
too.
where
Yeah.
I know a lot of his songs by heart.
Right, right.
Because I went through this whole like, the world hates me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ours, mom spaghetti.
Right.
Type shit. You know, I relate
Right.
to that to my mom made spaghetti way too much.
Right.
So I understand. But there's still a part of me that's like, when I'm in my vibe, to be real, I'm like, if he was a white rapper that never paid homage to black rappers, period, I wouldn't fuck with him on
Yeah,
that.
me
Like,
neither. I'm with
that's
you on
why-
that. Yeah.
That's why I don't fuck with Machine Gun Kelly.
Right,
That's
no.
why I don't. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't fuck with a lot of other. Logic I fuck with because he acknowledges his black side.
Yeah,
He recognizes.
he's pretty good,
He recognizes that. But like I can't get with just because you white and you rap. No,
Yeah, and you
like
hang
I
around
need
with
to
black
know.
people,
Yeah, I need to see what you about because
Right.
otherwise you still white boy.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So I mean, here's my thing, right? So again, because like to me, and this is just my assessment, right? It doesn't matter that Eminem could talk about, you know, the history of he can get on TV and talk about the validity of black rap, and he could talk about the validity of the people who started this, and he could talk about Africa Bambaataa, he could talk about whoever, but it's his whiteness that will always solicit the authority.
Right.
And it's in so much is that his whiteness will give him more validity in black spaces than the black spaces who created those black spaces. It has to be fuck Eminem.
But see,
To me, and I don't mean as a person, he could be an amazing person, but it has to be. Like, you know, I like what's his name, Tim Wise. I like him as a speaker on social issues that are informing white people about black people. But as long as he gets more validity in black spaces than a Mark Lamont Hill, then it has to be fuck Tim Wise. It has to be because I cannot.
He did something recently.
Right, I cannot be ushered into my existence by anybody else. No, I don't care about what they mean. I don't care about their intentions. I have to be able to, right, wrong, and indifferent, be able to state my existence on the terms that I mean them, without some. I mean, it's really like the slave master slave. Like, regardless if the chains are physical or financial, if I have to wait for you in order to validate my existence, then you are the master.
but here's the thing.
Oh,
though,
whoa!
even-
I got a question. Can I
Yeah,
ask a
go ahead,
question?
go ahead.
I don't know if this question is gonna mess everything up though. Can I ask it anyway?
Yes.
Okay.
Henny.
Yes.
Henny. If Henny said, I'm just. This is the real podcast now, right?
Yep.
we
Go
gonna
ahead.
So if Henny said, "Listen, Job, I'm not doing a podcast for you. I'm gonna do it for my people. I'm sorry, you got to go." How would you feel about that?
Yo, I would.
I'm just being honest. Really, I want to.
Henny was like, yo. And he just said to me, yo, I'm, he's a biracial person. So he said, like, I really feel like I need to save my space. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I learned here, I'm going to apply to a movement that touches me. I feel blessed. Like, yo, if anything that I did made you more aware of you, in so much that you were like, okay, spread out, because I need to, you know what I'm saying? Like, then it's like,
So you're saying that would encourage you?
that would encourage
to you do what you do and why you do it
even more because
Right.
I made another one. Like, yo, so he's for his people, like I'm for mine. Made me another one.
And I'm asking that because I'm asking that because
especially because the
Right.
people that he's representing
Right.
are not different from me. Malcolm
Yeah.
X knew that. When Malcolm X said, and he literally
Exactly,
said,
right.
He said, when I talk about the black man, I mean the red man, the yellow man, the
Yep.
brown man.
Exactly.
He understood that there was the argument is not black versus white. It was white versus non-white, which is why he
Yes.
used that term
Yes.
so often. You feel what I'm saying? Because he
Yes.
understood that it was an amalgamation of people that were, white people don't care about miscegenation and interracial marriages when it's between a Hispanic woman and a black woman. They don't give, they don't care nothing about that. It's white women and anybody else.
Right. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, if he understood, like, yo, in order for me to gain my solidarity, I have to speak to my people, as my people, and I understand and I dig what you're doing, but I got to be able to do this for me under the terms that I create. That's exactly what I'm doing.
right.
So my question is, what is our true expectation then? Because if our mindset is to just be for our folks, just to be for our people, to create our own systems, then why even fight for any sort of equality? And why not just fight for our current standard? Because the way that I look at it is this, because I was one of those people that was like, fuck all white people. I ain't gonna lie, I was hella prejudiced. Fuck all y'all white folks. And then 75% of me still feels that way when it comes down to it, right? Because by default, I'm prejudiced on both sides. My folks is from Shreveport, Louisiana, and my other folks is Native American from Idaho, and they do not my grandma specifically will tell a white man about himself quick.
Funny thing, a side note, I'm going to give it right back to you.
No, go ahead.
Have you ever noticed that the most Native American sounding places have the most vapid racism happening in there? Like,
No, they do.
Like, this is Chickasaw County, and it's the
And
most
it's like
racist
the most racist. No, for real. It
feel
really
me?
is. It really is. And, you know, so.
People that are isolated.
Say that one more time.
What you saying? People that were
people that are from like
Very Native American.
very indigenous sounding places.
people that are isolated.
I mean, I mean,
Mostly, I mean,
within
because if you think about
themselves
like
and what they do.
Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, like,
Just think about it. You ever hear people
Yeah.
say I'm a loner?
New Mexico.
You ever hear people say I'm a loner?
Yeah, I
When I
feel
hear
like
people
I'm
say
a-
that I'm a loner, I don't deal with them because you're too involved with yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're too involved with yourself. That means that if
They're
you
protecting the
are a
peace.
learner, exactly. If you are a loner, that means that you're not open-minded to others and their perspective. You're just spending time with yourself, and people don't realize your mind can be your worst enemies.
Yeah.
So when I heard you guys say that, I'm just asking, like, are these people that are isolated into their own beliefs?
Whiteness is definitely been
Not
able to
whiteness.
create-
You think
white people.
Well, it
whiteness
depends.
Have been
Not
able to
all white
create
people.
These,
'Cause
and,
in-
but here's the thing, and because people do that. People do that a lot with a lot of issues. Well, not all, or not. It doesn't. If you have a social level issue, that means you have a critical mass of something. If you have cancer. Not every cell in your body has cancer,
Yeah.
but the ones that matter and the ones that are creating the whole effect, your whole body will die. You might not have cancer in your wrist, but when your lungs collapse, your wrist is gone. So I don't have time. I'm sorry. I don't have time to delineate between
Yeah.
who is
Right.
and who ain't doing the thing. If we
and-
have enough of a problem, like if black
Yeah.
women are telling you enough of us are going missing.
Yes, and
That- you know
Native
what I'm
American
saying?
too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right, yes,
just
especially
from
indigenous people,
from
yeah.
my experience, right? I just remember growing up as a kid, and specifically on the reservation, and being reminded by like my cousins, my uncle. You know, we were all very close in age. That they were telling me, you know, police officers are not allowed here. Period. I specifically remember watching kids in our neighborhood like throwing rocks at the police, not the tribal police, but the government police. You know, because they maybe they got lost or whatever the case is. You know, you don't belong here, and that was from years of oppression. My grandmother, I don't know her full story, but I do know that she grew up in a time where the white evangelist people decided that they were going to round up all the Native American children and teach them the Christian way, and put them in border schools for years, cut their hair, which is taking away from their tradition, teach them their language, teach them their God, Catholicism. This is why most Native American reservations have a Catholic church on their reservation. But these are the same people that literally stripped you from your culture. And this was when my grandmother was growing up, so not too long ago. I mean, my grandmother is
living
barely
memory. This is
living memory. I mean, to the point where it affected her. I almost want to say by the age of like 12, 14, 15, she was pretty much on her own, border house, whatever you call it. And there's something on Netflix. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it kind of goes into detail, and it's a little graphic. You have the nuns snatching up their kids, and you see them like washing the kids, forcing them to cut off their hair, forcing them not to speak their language. You know, this was they were attacking after they attacked the adults, after they brought them the alcohol, which is still ridden through the entire reservation. I mean, that's where the whole stereotype came from. Native Americans being alcoholics. Our blood is not designed to digest it in the same way. And very similar to, I don't know if you've heard of red face from, you know, the Asian culture, but and very similar in the way that we digest it. It affects our body a little bit differently. And same thing with black people. And this is why alcohol was such a prominent tool, because we don't digest alcohol in the same way that white folks do. And that's just how it is.
We don't, because I'll be having diarrhea. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Like I can't be out there drinking.
I
all
don't even
night.
touch it. I'll be like, Jesus Christ. But I do
Yes.
it. Like tonight, I already know what's getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I can't, you know what I'm saying? But
She is right. I'm learning
it's
something
true.
right now.
But it's so true. I mean, like you go on a reservation and have a bunch of Native Americans drinking, and you gonna have fighting. You gonna have the police call. You gonna have, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that other races don't experience that. I'm just saying that there's a reason why they use these tools. They studied us, our behavior. They studied how we react to it. And so my grandmother's disdain for white people that intentionally try to take control, like I posted something and my grandma was like, fuck that white man. And you know, I posted something and some white guy posted on it and she was like, you're a piece of shit. Fuck you, white boy. That like period. However, she also blocked me because I cussed too much, ma'am. You just cussed out this entire. You just cussed out this entire white boy.
You don't have elder.
But you mad because I was screaming bitch in the camera. You called him shit.
She said you represent her.
Right.
She watching though. She was watching though.
Right. Listen, I asked her too. I was like, why you not my friend no more? Because I was trying to tag you in something. She said, you cuss too much. I said, okay. Let's not pretend.
I got it from you.
Where I got it
What you
from.
talking about?
Right, where I got it from, because I had to hold you back on the internet world from going off on this white boy.
Right.
You don't even know this man.
Right.
But she made sure to call him white because that's what she noticed in his profile.
All right. We got 2 more minutes.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna finish out this whole segment. Then we're gonna get into some relationship stuff.
Yeah.
They're ready
Go.
for relationship stuff. Okay.
Gotta stay on track.
Right. Okay. So I like what we did. But we're gonna wrap up this whole talk about protecting your peace.
Yeah.
Right. So it can be hypocritical to me. Right. A lot of what we're talking about. Right. A lot of what you're seeing, the conversations about the revolution, about all these things are happening, and it was intersecting ideas about how you can keep, generate, and protect your peace. Right? So there's a lot of people who thought racism was a way to protect their peace. White people thought doing these things to indigenous people, doing these things to black people was a way of protecting their peace. And it became a way of assaulting people
Yeah.
in the name of protecting your peace, right? In the social circles, a lot of times we use protecting our peace as a whipping tool to keep people off of us. We think cutting people off, like that's a power that we have. Yes. You don't say what I want you to say. You don't think the way I want you to think. I cut you off, and I'm protecting my peace. And a lot of the time, it's a form of social lynching.
Yeah, and avoiding.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can bring somebody to the table, and people do this, I screenshotted our text message stream. That was a private conversation you two had, right? That went back and forth for whatever. But I'm gonna blast this person so everybody knows.
I got receipts.
So you
right?
You feel me? So that's lynching. You lynch somebody. That is extrajudicial shit. Like now since I didn't, like, let's say I'm with Maya and Maya's my homegirl and Maya shows me something, I'm already on her side. So I'm already taking her lens into account. I don't know the history. You feel what I'm saying? So now while she's posting this and telling me this, that, and the third, this true story has more nuance to it. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when they're like, I cut this person off, the only thing that they're guilty of was disagreeing with you. The only thing they were guilty of was disagreeing with you in the comment section. The only thing they did was maybe add another perspective to your position, and it sort of made you not sound as informed.
And because we're not open to like self-reflection or learning, like we feel like because someone else is showing us that we were wrong,
Right.
that we take it as a personal attack, when really it's like, accept the knowledge and be okay.
Right.
But I do agree that we do need to protect our peace sometimes. There are some motherfuckers that might be like, you unsolicitedly cut me off. No, bitch, I cut you off because you weren't trying to come to understanding. You just wanted to argue. And for that reason, I have to cut you off. It's different to disagree. And it's something totally different if you're just like committed to not understanding the other side. Then at that point, I can't keep beating dead horse. Right. Like if you don't want to hear my side in the same way that I'm hearing your side, you got to go.
Right. So I'll tell you, I did that. I don't unfollow, block people lightly. Right. I've had people say things to me wild, and I've actually gone into their inboxes and like created friendships out of disagreements. Right. But there's one person, and you like them, and you've mentioned this person before. Y'all are cool. Name starts with a V. And he came on my
Question mark?
Question mark.
Because I'm like, who is it?
and he came on my thing, and I made a social comment about something. You know, I'm pro.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
There you go.
Okay.
And like, yo, he was mad disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And so then I was just like, okay, look, I respect you. I think you're dope. I think you're a dope person. I'm cool with you disagreeing with me. Mm-hmm. I'm cool with you having a different perspective than mine. Mm-hmm. But disrespecting me, disagreements and disrespect are not married at the hip.
Yeah.
Right.
You can disagree with me and keep your respect for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He summarily told me, no, I cannot.
Mm-hmm.
That you're stupid, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're this. And this is how I talk to people who are this, that, and this. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And I mean, you know me, I talk a lot. I was on the keys. I was tickling the ivory trying to be.
I just imagine. Y'all seen Bruce Almighty when he's responding to the emails when he realizes he's God. He's like,
I was like, God, give me the words to like really bridge a gap. And he was just like on some, nah, nigga, you on some hoe shit and fuck you. And I was just like, then the Midwest and me came out like, I should see this nigga on the street and fuck him up on sight. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just like,
But that's not.
and then they're gonna be like, I was on the street, wow. And so I was just like, you know
and
what?
see, that's why I don't talk to people because
So I just like went to that little
I ain't got
section,
time.
blocked this motherfucker,
Yeah.
erased that whole thread.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? And it bothered me to have to do it.
But I mean, that's
Why?
protecting your peace,
Why
though.
does it bother you?
Yeah.
Because truthfully, I mean, and that's what it feels like sometimes when
Right.
someone said just because you don't get a good feeling when you make a decision doesn't mean that decision was wrong.
Okay, so here's my
Okay.
thing, all right?
I dig that.
So I get that part, right? This was social media.
Yeah. 2 minutes.
All right, so listen, let me ask you this. This is because this is the things that I go through, and I really want to know. Like, do we really understand when you can't put your life out there and then say, why are you in my business?
Right.
Yeah.
Or why
Like
you have
that's
an
just how I
opinion.
honestly feel. And that's what I'm going through right now, because whatever I'm doing, I'm like, listen, I want to help people. I cannot get to people if I keep letting the people, because I feel like people that do stuff like that, they really want attention. And what I'm learning, this is what I'm learning. I'm glad you're watching. You're watching me. So I just started getting negative comments. I started appreciating it. You understand what I'm saying? Because I feel like, is something going on? What, we got to go? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying
I'm
that.
letting him know time.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I shouldn't have told y'all that. I shouldn't even said that part, right? Okay. Well, all right. Let's go on time. Let's answer this real quick. Okay. Where do you stop when it comes? If you don't want this type of reaction, where do we stop if we don't want to receive this kind of behavior while we in social media? Because this is what that happens when we put our business out in the world.
I mean, the consequence of it is you have to learn your personal line in the sand. Mm-hmm. I have to know what I can and can't take. I know I've watched some celebrities that say they never even look at the comment section
Yeah.
of whatever they're doing. They just say what they're going to say and then move about it.
I get
And that's
that.
kinda how- that's
right.
kinda
I
how
think
I
that's the best
move.
way to do it.
Because, I
Yes.
say a lot of stuff on Facebook, and a lot of stuff, sometimes I don't always agree with it, but I might say something like, I mean, this isn't a real example, but for the sake of like conversation, and if I want to like create a stir and create conversation, I might say something like, women are more responsible than men. Right. And then I leave it at that. And I'll let the people have it in the comments, and they might attack me. They might be like, you're dumb. You're this, you're that. How could you think that way? I even had a man tell me, because you think this way, you don't deserve protection as a black woman.
Wow.
And but I don't respond to that because I'm like,
Exactly.
I'm letting you my
I'd be like, so do you want to protect me then?
right because this is what I really wanted to say was, as a woman, period, I wouldn't ask you to protect me from shit because you out of shape. It ain't shit you can protect me from.
Right. But he watching you though.
But you watching me, though.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna let you have this conversation.
Right.
And I think sometimes, like, especially now when like it just in this world that we're in, I think we have to, like, that's kind of the shell that we have to develop, is like allowing people to speak their mind, even if they don't understand that we're just saying things to throw out bait, or we're just like trying to get conversation, even if the intent isn't to create malice conversation, but to just create some sort of dialogue.
So then that's what I think, right? Because I think you're absolutely right. But the problem is, in the name of protecting their peace, a lot of people do a lot of rank and file infighting, right? So it's like I'm protecting my in group by responding to you this way. So like I'm a man, I'm MGTOW or whatever. So you say what you said, and as a member, you know what I'm saying? They automatically say in their mind, they're not typing it, but as
in their mind as a representative
of this is the response that I'm supposed to give. You know, as a Kevin Samuelite, I'm supposed to say these things, and I already know the talking points.
Yeah,
and I'm protecting my order.
Yeah,
you feel of thought. You feel me? But we had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
no, we have something to say.
That was, go ahead.
So
go ahead, girl.
for me,
go ahead, girl.
when it comes to protecting my peace and even seeing those posts and those type of whatever, for me, when it comes to protecting my peace, I'm not going to respond. I have an urge to respond or make my comment, but I'm not going to sit there and say what I want to say just to engage in conversation with you. Because at the end of the day, I know you're getting a kick out of it.
Maybe
And
I
it's not
should've
going to
thought of that
really,
way.
it's
I'm
not
learning.
really going to benefit me, and especially based upon your initial post or whatever you said in the comments. I see what kind of mindset you have, and if it's closed off, it doesn't matter what I say. It's probably not going to change it.
Right. That
That's
makes
just how I
sense.
feel.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh, so much information.
But I do have my moments where I'm just like,
Right.
what the fuck? Like, bitch, you ain't talking about me.
Right.
So,
Let me leave this alone. Yeah.
before we go into our next section,
We're re-upping.
Are we in a different section?
we're about to go into a different. We're not done. We're just done with that section. And
Okay.
I want a little something, little
We
shit.
doing more margaritas? Are we making more margaritas?
Can we re-up
Who's this?
break
Who's
time?
this?
I'm gonna take a
You're
little break.
crazy.
Yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom.
A little on-air break time.
On air break. Turn up the music. Turn up the music for him. I know you turned down the music like all the way.
Your phone closed, that's why.
Oh, you should like just open it back up and turn on some music. Turn on some music and turn it up.
Pass me your cup. Sorry, I forgot your name.
EP.
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 Thank you, boo-boo. Thank you.
We're taking a break, and we'll be right back. We're gonna turn up some music. Turn up the music, man.
So how many people been coming in?
Say what?
You been seeing people that's looking?
Yeah, I'm looking. Hold on one second.
Phone's taking Glad to see that the buffalo chicken was a success.
Oh my god, I think it's so good. I love it.
That's because it's not on Wi-Fi anymore.
Oh.
Wait, so we stopped recording live?
No, my fault.
I gotta pee. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Me too, I got pee.
Jesus Christ.
Y'all audio. Y'all are just talking reckless. Y'all just, I gotta do it. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna turn on these cameras for everybody here. Y'all talking like you're talking.
Ain't nobody said they got a dookie though.
It was getting there. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, ain't nobody got a dookie, but I definitely got a like a racehorse.
Yes, girl.
I saw a horse pee for the first time. I was like, yes, I understand that.
You got the flexibility here to get over these.
Yes, I got it. Still got it. Still got it, right?
Good.
What happened?
Kenny, do you have some more tissue? We're on break.
Yes, we are.
We still on?
Yes. Friendsgiving episode.
Ooh, if you just put it on that little thing up there.
What?
Are we done with this?
Yeah, we're done with that.
We're done with this.
Put mine back
I'm coming to a restaurant near you. First item on the menu.
I will say when we get our space, we're gonna have to have a
Liquor license?
Yeah.
We gonna need a license for everything. Stay strapped out here. All licenses.
Oh, that's what I need to do.
I think you used all of my ice. Oh,
It's enough.
This is why I want a bigger house, so that way we don't have to run into these space issues between all of us. Oh,
Somebody eating chips.
that's my pup.
Zena?
My puppy.
Zena eating chips, girl.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I dropped one.
No, it's all good.
Nah, she's all right. She's at the point where she deserves to eat everything in her path. She deserves to eat everything. And y'all know this is why I bought all this. I can make more buffalo chicken right now if I wanted to. Everybody understands. Yep, saw it. Oh, sorry, they were on your left. Right here, right here.
Oh, and don't be afraid to be a little bit more active with the cutaway.
I have been switching between the cameras so much. I'm reading the conversation. I'm understanding where one person will count or one person will not. So when we go and edit this audio, you're gonna see it.
especially when you come in the atmosphere when I didn't do nothing to you.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's wrong.
And you'd be like, why are you so, what did I do?
Right. It's like you sitting there and somebody looking at you like, oh, she's so pretty. She got pretty eyes and this and that. And you sitting there like, why is this bitch mad at me? I ain't even do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? And they just taking it out on you. I think that's what people have to understand when people are coming into their atmosphere is like,
You can turn down the music,
let people feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And nobody did nothing to you.
I think the problem is that people have a problem with
Real nice. I like
or
that level
releasing
right there.
certain energies.
I like that level.
Because I feel energies too, but I have a problem with clinging onto those energies and not releasing them when I'm supposed to.
What do you mean, like that part we say clinging on to them?
Like, say I have a bubbly, personality type energy, but then I come in contact with somebody who doesn't have that same energy. I kind of soak that up. And I absorb it, and sometimes I don't know when to release it, so I'm holding on to it, clinging on to it. So I kind of struggle with that.
Wow.
Sometimes.
That's deep.
No. You can leave the music the way it was. Like,
And
camera switch.
yeah. So
So let me ask you this: I found out recently how I deal with it is when I cling on to it, I cannot make you become who you are and put that into me because that's not me. I have to address it.
Yeah.
And before I used to think that was a problem, but I realized no, because it's letting somebody know, like, I don't know what you're mad at, but it's simple. All you have to do is communicate.
Yeah.
Let somebody know, like, listen, I don't know what you're feeling.
Mic up,
But-
everybody. We're here.
You're making me feel uncomfortable. Okay, I put this on?
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. But
I'm gonna put it on because I'm gonna be with everybody else.
all right. Yo, we are marching into our last section of the
Yes.
night. We're about to have some fun.
Dries.
Does anybody have something relationship oriented they want to bring to the table?
I was prepared.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like preparedness.
We are going to talk about STDs.
Whoa.
Sexually transmitted demons.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk
Okay.
about
Oh,
and we were just talking about clinging on to energies and stuff like that. So
it's a nice
it kinda-
segue.
It's a
Nice
nice
segue
little
to it.
combination. So, have you ever experienced the STD?
Yes.
And
Oh, I said it too
how
fast.
did not disease, but a
No,
demon?
I said the demon part. I
Okay.
I was like, yes, the nigga was burning like a motherfucker.
Burn it, girl.
Holding my pee. I just couldn't. No. Go
Have
ahead,
you
go ahead,
experienced
go
the
ahead.
STD? And how did you get rid of it?
Wow.
Well, I'm sorry. You want to go? Because I
Go
got.
ahead, man. You are the lady of the hour. Too sweet
No,
to be sour.
Well, how did you know you were experiencing
Yes,
a
that's-
sexually
Okay, I'm gonna tell you
transmitted
what I was
demon?
experiencing. I met this guy, right? I was like, he's nice looking, and all this other stuff.
They
So
always
when I meet,
nice
When I
looking.
meet people, I have this thing now. I don't care about what I see. I want to know what I don't see. That's what I'm more concerned about. So once again, I was telling you, I went on this date with this guy, and the first thing, he never had no kids. Well, he had one kid. He never been married. All this other stuff. So my concern was like, okay, he has to be caught up in himself. He's probably so caught up in himself. I would hate to disrupt that. So I knew automatically, like, he could be a nice dude, but at the same time, something felt so strong with, I know me, and I'm not going to like the other side. So finally, I started noticing he had attitudes once in a while, like certain things that I would do, and he'll be like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, this dude don't know me. Like, he only if he knew what I was capable of. But I said to myself, I know what I'm capable of. To make a long story short, he came by one day, and he's made me feel like he didn't want to be there. So I sat down and I was like, what's going on? I'm like, what's up? I was like, listen, let me tell you something. I'm going to be very clear with you. And I was so nervous. This is how I knew me and his spirit didn't agree with each other. Because every time I see him, I would get nervous.
Yes.
Not only because the way it had nothing to do with how he looked or anything like that as a man. I knew deeply, like, I was nervous about, if he come at me wrong, I have to prepare myself because I already see what his demons are. I see it.
Yeah.
I feel it. It was
You
so
feel that
strong.
anxiety, that
Right.
restlessness.
That's exactly what it
Yeah.
was, anxiety. So we sat down, we talked, and I'm like, where's this? This is the thing I like to do with guys because I'm dating right now. This is the thing I like to do. I'm going to make you feel like you have to commit straight up. So I'm like, where this is going? Like, what are we doing? So because I had to get out, like my mind was already made up. I don't care if he come back no more if he don't, because as a man and as a woman, I want you to lead. But you're making me feel like when it's corrupt and something is wrong, this is the most important part about leadership is that you have to know how to correct it.
Yep.
You have to know how to control yourself.
Yep.
So when he released it, I said something, and he said I said it like 5 times. I had this habit. When I came to the South, I've learned hospitality. You all right? I am so concerned with people around me. Like, are you all right? So I probably said it like 4 or 5 times. I don't know. I'll be hyped. If I like you, he's like, don't say that to me no more. Like, you said it like 5 times. So I had to get myself together. I act like I didn't hear it. So I act like nothing was wrong. My energy was so disrupted.
Yeah.
I had to get up, walk around, I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. I was lying. I had to go upstairs and walk around and go look in the mirror and be like, bitch, get it together.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you going to do? Now you have to address this. So I went back downstairs, I cut the TV off, and I'm like, listen, you can't do that. Like, we can't, what do you want? Where do you want to go with this? Because your attitude, I didn't do nothing to you. You just coming over trying to see me and we just talking or whatever. Like, what's the problem? Regardless of what happened, it all boiled down to how long you been out of a relationship. He like 2 years. I can automatically see this relationship is still messing with you. Something happened. I am not going to be the person that you try to hurt through your process. We're not doing that. So I like you a lot. So, and I did tell him this. I said, before we become disrespectful to each other or we do anything, we just need to chill. So he said it too. He agreed. He's like, I think we need to be cool. Because I had to look him dead in his eyes. And I said, listen, when you come at me with that type of energy, I will snap. Because I've been through a lot of stuff. I've been through abusive marriage and all this other stuff with angry people. And I had to get myself together. But when you come into situations, you inviting people in your life, I'm going to be with you. I know you want that back massage. I got you. Yeah. So when you come in,
she like, you promised me.
Right. So when
time.
when you come entwined with other people, you have to have yourself together. You can't come in with people and you got an attitude and you angry because you expect somebody to love you.
Right.
That's your expectations with all your bull crap. That does not happen because something happened to all of us.
I think your light went up.
She hit your light.
I think Zena hit your light. It's all right.
So,
girl, she got a big old booty.
Just hit the button to turn it back on.
She might have unplugged it.
She unplugged it. She unplugged that thing.
She doesn't know where to go.
Yeah, it's all good. Is there a wall? Is there one on the wall by you?
I got it.
Okay.
So that was just my experience.
Right.
Yeah.
And what I've been through. And I've also, I just learned that, my instincts was right. So now I'm going to feel even more powerful when I see that. Yo, I'm good. I don't, I'm not going to expect nothing from you. I already know what it is, but you're not for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Click the light on your, the click.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Sexually transmitted.
Yeah. Very similarly, I feel like I've started noticing, okay. So in my past experiences, definitely you feel the lingering energy, right? After you're out of a relationship. So typically very similar, to you when you experience something traumatic, whether it's abuse, verbal, physical, whatever. And then you remove yourself. I noticed that there is a sexually transmitted demon when it's hard for me to release the thought of that person. But I'm also like almost to the point where like I have to remind myself of the hurt because my natural inclination is to remember the good times. And so I have to remind myself of the hurt so that I can remove myself from the sexually transmitted disease.
So, and I think the same thing. So like for a very long time, up until recently, I had a serious relationship that lasted from like 2015, 2018. And that person, we went through all the things that you go through, good, bad, and indifferent. But the thing that was crazy was that when we broke up, for the reason that we broke up, like I was like, let me say it like this. diseases have a way of having a psychotropic effect on you.
Yeah.
They mess with your mind. It doesn't just mess with you physically; it messes with you emotionally. All your hormones, everything goes out of whack.
Yes.
So, like you were saying, the person who I remembered her to be, through the hurt and through the pain and through all the nostalgia and all the things that I was doing, I imagined somebody that didn't exist. The memory of her that I had, the person who I have idealized in myself, that if this person came back, I would be whole again, was not the person that left.
Yeah.
You feel
And
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that's something that in relationships we do a lot. And I recently, in this particular relationship, I had to realize that I'm committed to the person's growth more so than how that person shows up for me. Because if I'm committed to your growth, then regardless of how that shows up for me, then I'm able to remove myself. I can tell myself, it's not about how you show up for me, right? I love you because of who you are. So I'm committed to how you grow. And I want to occupy that space. However you transform, because the truth is, if I believe that we're going to be together forever, then I have to accept all forms of you.
Right.
And scientifically, we reach milestones every 5 years.
Yes.
So that means every 5 years, you're going through some sort of consciousness shift. So the person that I met 5 years ago is not going to be the same person that you are 10 years from now, 15 years from now. So I have to commit
At least
to
they
what...
shouldn't be.
Right. and in some ways you might be, right? In other ways you might change. But I have to be committed to what that looks like. And whether that means I stay with you in a romantic relationship, or whether that means that maybe you change and I don't like the change and then we just remain friends. Right.
Exactly.
And that's something that I had to like tell myself in my current relationship is, am I able and am I willing to move with him in the shifts that he's experiencing? And am I able to accept this person or this friend or whoever after their shift and they don't really fit with my shift? Like, can I still support this person? Anyways, I think a lot of times, you know, we don't consider that. We look at like who they are and we're like, you're not for me, and da, 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 you know what I mean? But it like you were.
I said stuff.
Yeah, you said stuff and I forgot.
Oh no! So no, I was basically saying that, you know, the way that the sexually transmitted thing acted in me
Yes.
was that longing, right? So it was that
That
I
desire.
couldn't function, right? Like this person like was in my dreams when I didn't want them to be there. You know, I'm a home mechanic in real life, so I'm fixing vehicles and worried about people's safety, and I'm still processing her. You know, she's still back there. You know what I mean? No matter what I did, I felt as though this person was going to maintain a portion in my mind that I was going to be cognizant of forever. You know what I mean? And I had to like you said, I had to be logical about it. I had to go, I've been through this before. You know what I'm saying? Like a sickness. Like, you know, I've had the flu before.
Yep.
And no matter how you feel like I'm going to be sick forever, you know there's the other side of this.
Yeah.
And you have to go through the motions. And you have to sort of like talk yourself through it. And I think that those demons, like if you don't understand that about yourself, I've known people who have thought
Go through
of
the cycle.
and they commit or attempt bodily harm, you know, because they feel like it's more, what's the word I want to use? It's more static than they are. It's more permanent than they are.
Yeah.
So that pain is going to be there no matter if they're there or not. So they just rather not be there. You know what I'm saying? So I think like it to me, it had that sort of emotional effect on me that, you know, I loved intentionally, not perfectly. That's not what intentional means.
Right.
But I meant it.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
I meant what happened. Yeah.
Right. So when I said I loved you, like that's what I meant the actions.
Yeah.
I meant the intentions and
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, like, reflecting back to my other relationships, I feel like that's something that I had to accept, is like that was their version of love, and that was their version of like, and even if that wasn't up to my standard, that doesn't mean that it was any less authentic and any less meaningful. And maybe they just didn't know how to love me. Maybe my standards were like unrealistic at the time. You know, I can admit that.
For who you were with.
For who I was with.
I think that
Right.
sometimes people feel though, sometimes that they you know, it's all about like when I had got with my husband, it's about feeling safe. And when me and my husband got together, I was going through the worst time of my financial career. And I had to be straight up. Well, I spoke to him to the pit of my stomach of what I wanted and what I needed. And he helped me through that. So being that he helped me through that, he also, from his past experience, I've also seen his loyalty. And when we got together, somebody left him. And I already knew what was going on. In my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm grabbing him up. I already know he loyal. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's what meant a lot to me. I knew that he would be loyal to me. So now, you know, that he's not here, it's like, now I gotta look for this shit all over again. Now, do I look for it, or being that he taught me that, can I become that? You know, because I'm a loyal person.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm struggling with. It's like, it's not about when somebody do something, you know, like I told you about Homeboy. It's not about me, you know, discovering, look, you got an attitude all the time. That maybe what I was looking for was like, I apologize. I didn't mean that. How can we work through this? I would have been like, oh, that's it. It's on. He likes me. He wants to work through some things. But when you start agreeing with, okay, maybe we need to be cool. All right, you're not ready.
Right.
You're not ready, because I feel like first of all, I'm a Leo. I've been through a lot.
That's why I fuck with you.
Yeah, I'm a Leo.
My best friend, one of my best friends, a Leo.
Right.
And that's like, I ride or
And
die.
one of the things
We done fought niggas together.
Right.
Like,
One of the things I think that inspired me with my husband, that I think that turned me on so much, was because when I told him, I'm like, you ready to get in a relationship with me? And he was a Leo too. I was like, you ready to get in a relationship? I said, you want to get in a relationship with me? Because you know I'm not having certain things. He was like, yeah. I was like, oh shit.
Oh,
like,
God
yes.
damn.
You know, so
scared.
right. So at the same time, he's not scared, because I literally think about lions and lioness. I really do. And I think that a lot of people are afraid, because I feel it too sometimes. If somebody brings me on commitment, I feel anxiety, because I'm just coming out of a situation that was very sensitive to me, you know, from my husband. Well, you don't know, you know, my husband had passed away. And, you know, I just feel like first of all, I will never compare him to anybody.
Right.
He is who he was, and he was a Leo, you know, so it's like, now I'm going into a new adventure. I know God has something for me, but now it's more or less like, the thing I struggle with, like, am I supposed to be the strong one? Or, you know, I am supposed to find somebody again like my husband, somebody that's bold, they ready to get into it. But at the same time, me and my husband needed each other at the time we was going through. So I feel like this is my thing with people in relationships with dudes. This is how I feel on dates. If you don't need me, that means you got somebody else.
Period.
You got attention on somebody else.
Period.
Because if you didn't have nothing, the way me and my husband came together, my electricity was out. Me and my daughter was sitting in the house, and my dog. It was cold. We didn't have nothing, and I lost my job. I was starting all over again, and my husband was calling my phone, and I wasn't even paying him no mind because I was going through so much. And my daughter was like, "Ma, you know, Johnny keep calling." I'm like, "Who, girl?"
What? He wasn't your husband at the time.
No, not at all. He was coming by somebody. You know how dudes do. You know you was a good nigga. They come back checking for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So he came back checking for me. So
y'all good?
Right. Yeah, you good? Like, I heard New York City had the lights out. Nigga, you know I ain't in New York City.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in Georgia.
Right.
So when he came through, he's like, I'm like, I didn't even answer the phone. I thought about God with the man with the 3 boats. He was waiting on God, and the God kept sending him a boat.
Yep.
And he kept
was
letting
like,
the
"No,
boat.
I'm waiting on God."
I'm waiting on God. And then when he got to God, God
he
was like, "What happened to the boat? I sent you 3 boats." Right? Yeah, exactly.
And he was waiting on me.
So my husband's calling on the phone. Now my late husband was calling on the phone, and I'm laying in the bed crying. I'm cold. My electricity out. My thing's like $700, and my husband calls, and I'm crying to God, and God's like, "Yo, I am trying to help you. Would you please pick up the phone?" So I picked the phone up. I didn't pick the phone up. I had my mind already because I knew what kind of guy he was. So I was like, yo, this type of dude, he would do anything for me. This is what we experienced. So I called him the next morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, yo, my bill is out. I'm like, I know you got 5 kids. I'll help you with your 5 kids. You can sleep in my daughter's room. Now listen to this part because I'm about to go somewhere with it. You can sleep in my daughter's room and she can sleep in my room and we can help each other. So he like, all right, wait, well, how much is the bill? I'm like, $700. Meet me at electricity in the morning. Went to electricity company. The company was like, ma'am, your bill is $200. I'm like, $200? He paid the $200. When I was ready to walk out, he whispered in my ear, yo, I'm not sleeping in your daughter's room. I'm sleeping with you. I will be at your house with my bags tonight. I was like, oh, shit. Like, so even my dog, when the electricity came back on, my dog was even happy running through the house. The dog was like, yes, we got lights. He came back. He put food in the house. I mean, I just felt. I knew at that moment I would never ever worry about finances ever again. To make a long story short, his kids came. We all grew up with the kids, but I think that part, that's not even traumatizing. That's part of letting me know my worth and believing in God. You understand what I'm saying? So when he passed, this is the thing, that when he passed, I already knew before everything was gonna happen. The beautiful thing about him passing is that I was there with him. Now, a lot of people that think they all that and think they want to wait for everybody. Yo, let me tell you something. The worst thing in the world is when you ain't got nobody there. You want strangers to wipe your behind or kiss your behind. Like, I was there for him to do all of that. So the what he transferred into me was he loved me for who I was. He didn't care about my loud mouth and all this other stuff. I had Jive, I had Mike, I had all of them. They can come out of my house anytime. He never tried to change anything. It was just like, he did kind of was skeptical a little bit, like, yeah, nigga, who these niggas around my wife? You know, like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he was supportive more than he was jealous. And hating. So I understood that. You know, so what we have to understand is that a lot of times people are scared of commitment. You want somebody to love you, but you're not willing to put your feet in the water.
I agree. I feel like that's part of the reason why my boyfriend and I, we had a little lover spat. Right. And, you know, I was explaining, I was like, this is why, you know, I share my location with him because I need you, you know, any questions that you may have, you don't have to ask where I'm at. You know where I'm at. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? If you need to find out where I'm at, you can find me. It's not, it's no question because
we tell each other because we don't, I don't know if, because we have Androids. So I don't know if I don't think we can sell like we can. I don't think we can share.
You one of those people. iPhone elitist.
We've been debating.
Listen, the only reason why I got a fucking iPhone is because literally my plan was offering a fucking discount. I don't give a fuck about iPhone. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Okay, but Android was easier to use.
This Shartini is getting to. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
None of that shit. Listen.
It's nothing personal now, people.
Right.
Android, let's put it on the record. Android is easier to use, and I found out that Android created the iPhone system.
iPhone had more money. That's how they did
it.
Right.
Yes. Wow. Android created the iPhone system.
Right.
And they still do. So that's why they are ahead of us in technology. The shit that we just now getting, Android been had. Been had. Actually. And that's true.
Don't do no corrections.
Hold on.
Don't correct
Here
her.
we go.
You know, Henny
I got examples because. All right, go ahead now.
Anybody got an iPhone charger?
Right here.
We do.
Right here.
I need
No, it's not over there.
It's one over there. No, it's one over
here.
It's a white cord on the table.
Go ahead, honey. What the producer got to say?
4-foot cable.
Producer, is there available for the?
I don't got a. Yeah, you gonna have to use the block.
Me and my boyfriend, we tell each other instead of sharing our locations because we have Androids. But I understand that part.
So when you're talking about sexually transmitted demons, going in a little bit, I want to like spend our last little couple minutes explaining which.
Sexually transmitted demons because before I actually experienced it, I didn't know it was a thing. I knew we had soul ties, but I didn't know we could actually transfer demons from person to person.
Like, have you ever had, like, I feel like that's similar to like wet dreams.
Yes. Exactly.
I feel like wet dreams are just that because Listen, I'm not even gonna lie. This happened to me recently, and I had to I prayed the entire day after that. Where and this happened maybe like 3 weeks ago. I literally had a dream. I was in my room, and I was like having sex with my man, but it wasn't my man.
It was
my body didn't recognize. Like my body didn't recognize it, but my mind did. Like my body was like, "Oh no, this is your man's body," but because I couldn't see his face, I knew it wasn't him.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I knew I was in a dream, which let me know that this shit ain't real.
I should have went into I should have gave more context when I asked the question. But that's what I pretty much meant. And I experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
And when mine's happened with my dream, I woke up inside of another dream. And I told my mom immediately after it happened because I was calling for her.
Yes.
And in my dream, as I was calling for her, no words came out.
Yes.
And that's how I knew because I saw something on Facebook about it after the fact. But same thing, I didn't see the face. But I knew it was not an actual person.
Yeah.
And after I woke up, I was just like, I was crying.
Yeah.
Because I was just like,
it's so traumatizing.
In my dream, they had me pinned down.
Yes.
So even if I tried to fight and move, I could not.
Couldn't.
And when I was,
you felt in between, like with
like you felt awake, but you couldn't.
That's why I said I
Mm-hmm.
woke up inside of my dream. So like in movies, they're in
Inception.
a dream. Yes,
a dream inside a dream inside a dream.
And you wake up and you think you're awake, but you're in another dream.
Exactly.
And even when I was calling, the first time I called, because I was calling for my mom, the first time I called, words came out, but after that, it was nothing else coming out of my mouth. And the only way I woke up out of that dream, I was calling for God. That's the only time I
literally
woke up.
No, for real. Like I've experienced, I don't know if it was necessarily an incubus, but like the hag riding your back sort of thing. I experienced that and I was so scared. I was 17 years old and I literally ran to my parents' room and was like, I'm not sleeping in my room.
Yeah.
Like I'll sleep on the floor, but I'm not sleeping in my room. Because I literally felt that pinned down and I saw the vision of it. And people will be like, well, that's just sleep paralysis. But I really feel like it. I really believe in the spiritual world. And I believe that, when you fall asleep, you're in a different subconscious. You're in a different realm. And the only reason why I even thought about it in that way is because I met with a woman named Dr. English. She passed, rest in peace. But she told me, she was like, she asked me one day, she was like, last night, did you have a dream? I was like, yeah. And, I was super tired that day. And she was like, did you have a dream? I was like, yeah, I had a dream. And she was like, that's why you're tired. She said, did you wake up and your feet were dirty? And I woke. Now I have a pet peeve. I wear socks throughout the house, but I take my socks off when I get in the bed, right? I do not wear my socks when I get in the bed. But that morning before I went to her office, like I remember waking up and like feeling like my feet needed to be washed. So the first thing I did was like jump into the shower, specifically because my feet needed to be washed. So when she asked me, she said, do you feel like, are your feet dirty? And I was like, I don't even know because I didn't look at them, but they felt dirty as fuck today. Right. And she was like, it's because you're not realizing that you're conscious in your dream world. You're traveling in your dream world. And these experiences you're having with these demons is what she said. Because that same night now, I had a dream that I was fucking somebody that I wasn't fucking. Okay.
Right.
She said these demons, you're traveling with them. Right. And you're accepting that. That's why your feet are dirty, because you're traveling in your dreams. That's why you're tired when you wake up, because you're not resting. You're traveling. So when you go to sleep at night, you need to pray for safe travels.
Okay, wow.
Oh, shoot.
And I was like, and let me tell you,
You feel that.
3 weeks after that, she passed.
Oh, what?
Now, let me tell you, I met a man,
Who passed?
Dr. English.
Okay.
She was right there on 37th Street. 37th, right before you got to MLK.
Okay.
Right, the corner of 37th and MLK. And she told me, right? She told me all of this. Now, I met a man prior to that, and we were fairly close. And she kind of warned me about him, and she was like, listen, he's not. She told me, don't have no kids with him, and don't you marry him, because he's not going to accept your growth. And if you marry, that it's your choice. But if you marry him, you're not going to grow. You're going to be stuck. And literally, he asked me to marry him. And that's all I thought about. Because
Did you feel the same way?
It was,
agree with that?
I agreed with it only because he wanted me to quit my job.
No, you don't
He
do that.
he didn't
You
want
don't
me
do
to
that.
he didn't want me to do anything. Like literally no work.
No growth.
It was
growth.
like the first thing he said
Like my
was,
boss.
you don't need to work because I got you. I gave him a year to show me that he got me. He ain't got me.
He got you.
He ain't got me. Because when he said he got me, he used that leverage to try to kick me out, thinking that I didn't have nowhere to go.
Power.
You see what I'm saying?
Power.
And I kept remembering what she was saying to me, because she was like, if you marry him, you're not going to grow.
Yeah.
I met him a week later. And I stopped working for her because he didn't want me to. He said he didn't see the benefit in working for her.
To him.
To him. So I stopped.
So his demons was working.
Listen.
They was working.
Listen.
Wow.
So listen to your body, bro. Listen to the messages. Listen to the people around you. Like, if you trust them people around you and you're conscious about the people that are around you, you trust them, like, listen, because the spirit will send messages to them to get to you.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about to wrap this up.
Yes.
That was dope. That was deep. We're gonna let it. Before we get up out of here,
Marinate.
I want y'all to think about how sexually transmitted demons may
Yes.
have affected you. And if
Yes.
you are hearing this right now, if you're hearing this in the future, whenever you're hearing this, we are active on our page. So we will see your messages.
Period.
Yes.
Mess with
Yeah.
us. But before we get out of here, we want to thank our amazing guest
Yes.
and then ask her another question. Because we need to know, you stepped away from all of this. And, as you were ascending, but you stepped back in. And I did want to ask, and I meant to ask, what made you come back in? What made you come back into the fold? We see you, you're on TikTok and you're on Facebook and you're doing all these things. You're manifesting your energy and bringing it back to the fore. And I want to know, like, what are you bringing? What's new? What's your new passion? What's your project? What are you doing? What are you bringing to the table?
Oh, so right now, me and my girlfriend wrote a book. It's called Healing is a Process, called Conversations, and it will be coming out. So the book is about, I talk about when I was younger, how I got sexually abused, and she talked about how she got physically abused. And the goal is to help everybody understand that no matter what kind of trauma that you go through, that you can live your life. So, I do foster care. My goal is to help a lot of kids through foster care and help them find their families and be adopted. I don't adopt, because I worked in the system. I worked with juvenile. I worked in, treatment facilities. I worked with kids from all kind of levels.
Right.
So
That's dope.
yeah, and so I opened up my home. Me and my husband, I came to my husband one day and I was like, yo, listen, I'm ready to leave my job. And he's like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I got this idea. I want to like help foster children because kids is my thing. This is what I do. So we did it. He was like, all right, cool. Oh, sometimes all you need is support.
Yeah.
So, but I knew at that moment, if he wouldn't have supported me, we wouldn't have been together because that's how passionate I felt about it.
Yeah.
So doing that, writing the book, talking about what happened to me, I didn't let it helped me help foster kids. Because it was like, if I can protect one kid from being molested or going into a foster care, or they don't have anybody from somebody doing something bad to them, I'm going to do it. So sometimes we have these big behind dreams. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I had to come to the realization like, yo, listen, instead of you thinking about 100 kids, why don't you think about one?
Yeah.
So I thought about one. and we got started. It was really easy. And, you know, I had this dream. God brought me this dream. I was sleeping in my bed, and I had all these kids in my house. I'm like, what the heck? You know, like kids in my house. One kid even came in my room and put a needle on my stomach. Something happened where it wasn't good. So before I started foster care, everybody, my family, everybody was so worried. It's like, don't do it, don't do it. I was like, yo, this is what life is about. Life is not about being comfortable.
Yeah.
Life is not about you feeling like, oh, you know, I have the man I want, or I have the woman I want, and this just feels safe. Like, that's like saying, I go to church. All I do is go to church. I don't do anything else. Well, you're not fighting the wars. That's like going to the military. The military teaches you to fight, to prepare for war. So
if all you're doing is preparing,
right. So if you're not, your war is not going to count until you really get out there in the Gulf War. Now it's war. Let's go.
Period.
So, you know, I just feel strong. Like, I love a mess. And I love fixing it.
Yeah.
So instead of putting it into adults, I found out, I put it into what I love doing, and I put it into children. Because they're going to listen to me. They need the leadership. They don't have anybody. So why not do that?
And that's totally what I want to do. Like,
I do too.
Yeah.
So I want to have a conversation.
Yes. So I love it. I mean, people ask me all the time, and the thing that's crazy is because when I was doing it, it was training. When I was working in juvenile, doing all of this stuff, like, yo, y'all dudes not even paying me what I deserve. So when I got into foster care, I was like, what? I was like, I'm out. I was like, bye. You know, so I get to run my own my own thing in my own home. And, you know, I went and traded. Let me tell you something. When my husband passed away, them kids, when I tell you, they uplifted me and kept me going with what I love, girl, I'm telling you, if they wasn't there, I wouldn't even be sitting here right now.
My whole entire life, like my whole career path has always cycled around children.
Right.
Like everything from like, even when I started my nonprofit, I was always working with young girls. And then I started working with young boys. But it's always been children. Period. Right. And something that even now I'm in RBT working on entry level with like ABA therapy, but that's something that I'm recognizing is like, if I'm, and especially now with the climate, right, with the whole abortion laws, all this stuff, I really feel like if you a pro-lifer, adopt or foster some children.
Do something, right?
You see what I'm saying? Don't just have an opinion and do nothing with your opinion. Because the thing is, the people that you're saying that don't have an opinion, they're the ones that actually are doing the work. A mother that's having a child is actually having to raise that child. And so, you know, all these pro-lifers, oh, you shouldn't kill a child. You know, I agree. Abortion is fucked up to some extent, right? I understand that. But I also feel like you need that option. Yeah. Because you don't have people readily available to take care of your child if you're not ready. Yeah. You know? But again, I understand that's kind of the life path that, and I'm assuming Maya and I would like to pursue because I want a bunch of children. I just don't want to pop them out. You know? So
why do women use the word pop? I've been there during that process. Let me tell you something. Pop was not the word I would use to describe the process.
Well, I hope that it pops out.
That motherfucker
push. I hope it. Listen, I saw a woman give a deliver. When she walked in and barely even sat down in the wheelchair and popped the baby. It literally popped out. Yeah. And I just pray that my child just pops the fuck out because I ain't got time. I don't have the motherfucking time. You want to sit here and lollygag and chill.
I have C-sections.
You want to rotate. Yeah. You don't want to come out. Get your ass out. Little junior, get your motherfucking ass out. Let's go.
Maternity leave.
No, but
I've seen the thing in this while. But go ahead.
Mine is a little bit different because I've tried and I'm still young, so I have more time to still try. But in my mind, it's just like, bro, this shit is failing. At this point, I'm just gonna adopt because
That's how I feel too.
Well, at least you had an
I'm
open
not
mind.
gonna
At least you had an
That's
open
funny.
mind. No, that's
Yes.
good.
That's
Because I've had
funny.
a guy literally tell me he was in a marriage for 18 years because she couldn't have kids and their marriage was miserable. So I was like, why didn't y'all just adopt?
Yeah.
Right.
And,
if you want the kids that bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
He wanted natural born kids. That's what he wanted.
Yeah,
I mean, I
don't
don't
know.
know. I
It's,
really
it's
do.
the ego thing, but that's why you got to kill your ego before you get into a relationship.
And I really wanted to have
That's a whole nother
kids
subject.
before,
It is.
like, my family started passing, and y'all know my grandma passed away last Monday.
I'm sorry to hear
Mm-hmm.
that.
So
I'm sorry.
Thank
R.I.P. Grandma. What was her name?
everybody called her Miss Queen.
Ooh,
But her name is
Look, so I promise you. So I'm looking at her
R.I.P.
arm.
Miss Queen.
I'm seeing the officialness of her tattoo. She probably did herself.
I
I
did.
love that.
And
Miss
I was
Queen.
like, "Who's Miss Queen?" And then she goes, "It's
Every
Miss
now
Queen."
and then, I'm trying. Hopefully, I get full time.
Okay.
I'm
gotcha.
working on it though.
Okay, but what's
But,
gonna happen?
I wanted to have kids before my family started passing away, and I like cried to my mom because I was just like, bruh, I don't have a baby. Like everybody else got babies. I ain't got a baby, and my grandma is not here. So now I'm just like,
Let me tell y'all something
Yeah.
from a dude who has a couple of those. Let me tell you what you do.
You're not a woman, so
let me
we
let
don't
me tell
care.
you what you do. Because I was with my daughter's mother, she's 13 years old now, and we were at it for a minute. She was just like, I just don't think, and I was just like, yo, just chill,
time.
relax,
and I'm being
And
more
have-
acceptable of
Right.
God's timing
right.
because of course His timing is more important than ours.
Right. Like I have a friend, I knew them when they were like, I want to say like 19, 20. Like they're almost 30. They've been with each other since they were like 15. Never, they've only been with each other. Like they're like the perfect couple. And she's just not pregnant. Like they're about to be, they're about to be in their 30s and like she's just not pregnant. They've been together for 15 years and she's just now about to have their first kid.
Yeah.
Like it just happens when it happens. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
I feel like as women though, we have a biological clock.
Yeah.
That
We're
we're
trying to
like-
beat that
it
clock.
haunts y'all.
Because listen, especially now that I work in the autistic sector,
I used to work in that too.
it jumps up after your 30s. Your likelihood of having a child that is autistic jumps up. And it's not necessarily that you don't want a child with autism. You just don't want a child that has to deal with extra bullshit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't want your child to have to experience that. And you can only hope that your child has a team that can advocate for them.
Yeah.
And
So you said okay. No, go ahead.
go ahead. No. What was your
Because you said, okay, if my child had autism, I would love my child to death.
yes.
But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I want my child to have autism? The answer
think
for
none
me
of
is
us
no.
do.
No,
I don't think
you
none
don't.
of us do.
But to be honest, now that I work with autistic kids, I wouldn't even mind.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't
wouldn't
have so
even-
much personality. to be
Yeah,
honest.
so much personality. I mean, when I tell you about the stories, I'm like,
Or so
yo.
could it be that they're not like, and to some extent they're not. I mean, of course there are extreme cases.
Yeah.
But
There are some extreme
could it be that they were just like what we call like neurodivergent?
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely on the spectrum of neurodivergent. That's what like autism is, because there's no real like level, right? Because I have children that are completely nonverbal, and then I have children that are extremely eloquent in their words. They know how to dress it up to get what they want.
Right.
And so the way that we approach them is different compared to the children that are nonverbal. Sometimes, right? Because even the children that are nonverbal, they still have great understanding.
Is it safe to say, and this is just my opinion, but is it safe to say that they are actually really, really smart than
No.
the average, than the
Yes.
average person?
Oh, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's something that I realized. I thought that I was going into an environment of special needs. No, absolutely not. I'm going into an environment of an individual that has a brain that, even though, and this is the thing that I learned, is that most children with autism that are nonverbal, a lot of the times it's because of comfort level. They weren't challenged in their environment to be verbal
I'm glad you said that.
or to learn communication. And that's the biggest thing, is that you have to, like, for example, I have children that may not be super experienced in like words, but maybe they are brilliant in numbers.
Well, yeah, I have it.
You see what I'm saying? Or maybe like right, or I might
now he's brilliant with words, but the other kid he's not really good with education.
Yeah,
but he is so brilliant with social skills.
Yes, yes. So we have kids like that are like their autism shows up in their social skills. They're super social. You put them in a room with kids and they can dominate the room. They'll tell kids, we're playing this game.
Right.
You're doing this and I'm doing this. Right. And the way that we shape their behavior is we say, okay, I see that you want to play this game. Let's ask them nicer. Hey, do you want to do this? Right. And then we might have a nonverbal child who may not know how to articulate, I don't like when this person steals my toy, so I'm going to punch them in the face. Right. So then we teach them, you can say, don't take my toy. This is mine. Instead of just punching them in the face. Right. So we go through that process, whatever level they're at. Right. Maybe it's maybe the level is a sign that's like, don't touch. Right. Maybe the sign is don't touch, or maybe the sign is that's mine, or maybe the sign is my turn. Right. My turn. Right. So we teach them that. We teach very basic communication because that's where it starts. And I think that a lot of times when I separate myself from like general issues, I realize that it's a breakdown in communication. They didn't realize that this is what I wanted. They assumed that I wanted this. Or they didn't realize that this is what I needed because of my emotional level. Because that's something we consider too. We tell the child, like, if you're feeling upset and nothing else in the world is making it better, we ask them, what do you want? Do you want a hug? Is that all you want is a hug? And they will respond yes or no if they're nonverbal. Yes, I want a hug. So we give them a hug and we realize all is fine. You just wanted a hug.
So, my goodness. Because you know how we do.
Yes,
We
you
can
know
go.
how we do.
We can go. My man
He over
had the
here
most audible
munching on
chip
chips.
ever. Every microphone in here heard that chip. We have had a ball today.
Yes, amen.
Talked about some social issues.
Yes.
We introduced Savannah. We reintroduced Savannah to an amazing person who is stepping back into the fold
Period.
of being an amazing creator in many different areas. Like, so she's now content creating. She's now writing a book, and she is now affecting the lives of young children.
The book is done.
The book is done. The book is done.
They're just editing it right now.
Right.
And we just waiting for it to come out. And
Yes.
it's
Okay.
actually my second book.
What is the title? What is the title of this
Give us the
one?
title
And
one
then
more
the
time.
The
title of
title
this
is
one?
called Conversations. Healing is a Process.
Period. And what is the title of the first book that you
The
had?
first book that I wrote was Adultery.
Oh, wait a minute.
And where they can find that book on?
Yeah, everything's on Amazon.
Amazon.
So
Okay, who's that? What's your pen name? So we, because
Yeah, so we can find it.
yeah.
Purdy,
He said what now?
Ernestine Purdy.
Ernestine Purdy.
Right.
Purdy.
Yes. So I just want to tell a lot of people, man, I think that every individual has a story. And when I meet people, I always say, Dad, I wonder what's in their book. So if I want to know what's in a book, it's like trying to get to know God. If you want to know God, read the Bible. So,
Period.
a lot of people need to understand is when you come in interactions with other people, you have to have patience and you have to read the book. We don't have patience. I don't want to read your book. You got an attitude.
You ain't got no cliff notes? You ain't got no cliff notes? I want to just read the abstract.
Yeah,
I
No,
wanna,
we're not skimming through the book.
Yeah,
We're not
but
gonna skip.
Yeah, conversations healing is a process. This is basically
Dope.
like I said, a lot of us been traumatized from childhood. We've been
Yes.
traumatized through adulthood. We're still being traumatized by a lot of things. But, the goal is to understand that, you can move forward because take that out your book bag. Take the stress out your book bag, all of that, because it's getting heavy and eventually it's going to bust.
Yeah.
So you have to address it, let it go. And what a lot of people don't realize is, listen, you got a good job, you got these insurance cards, you go to the doctor, you do all of this, take your ass to a therapist. I did it. When my father was passing away, I felt like, he was the first person that I was losing from my life that I was so used to having around all my life. So my boss didn't care. All my boss wanted me was to show up. That's all he was worried about. But my boss didn't realize that was the time, if you wanted to keep me as an employee and you wanted to keep me for you, and to help your legacy, you need to go through this with me. You know what I'm saying? So when you making me feel like, listen, all I need to do is show up to work, because work was easy. That ain't nothing for me to do. I can boss 50 people. I can do that. Like, it's nothing. But at the end of the day, I'm good. I'm getting my own business. I'm doing my own little thing. So when I did that, it was like, whatever. But what people have to realize that we're human.
Yeah.
We're not robots.
And that's something I feel like that's something that small businesses have to understand. Is like, when you're
businesses.
It's all businesses, but specifically small businesses, because we try to give small businesses a chance,
Right.
especially Black small businesses, right? We try to give them a chance, and then when we go through something, it's like it's hard for them to be flexible. Just within my own business, I make sure that I calculate the flexibility, because
So for me, it's different. I feel like Black people are more understanding because we understand life happens. But with white people, they don't understand. Prime example, my grandma passed away. My job literally only gave me 3 days. And I'm just like, that's not enough time.
Yeah.
That's not enough time to process.
I'm giving you 2 weeks, yo.
Yeah.
And I can understand. I definitely see that side,
because regardless, you're not losing money.
Yeah.
You're not, because
You're
I'm
not.
doing the work. So help me, grieve this process, because it's not easy, especially me being young. Like, this is the first person I lost in my life that was close to me. And you don't understand that.
When I worked in corporate America, specifically in the hotel industry downtown, their philosophy, I'm not going to say like their entire philosophy, right? Because they were pretty okay with giving you like at least a week off if you had like a family member pass or something like that. But for me, like somebody that harbors on emotion, like I'm gonna need a whole month off. You know what I mean?
And everybody grieves differently. So.
Yeah, everybody grieves differently. But very, very true. I feel like I've noticed that in a sense of like, if you're not ready to jump back into things, specifically in like the current job that I have, I had a coworker that had some heavy surgery, and her time expected to come back was like, they were like, okay, well, what you gonna do this week? And then she's like, bitch, I just had motherfucking surgery. Like, I'm not coming back right now.
Right.
And I think that's a lot of like capitalism
Yes.
that
Yes.
you like to talk about. And I agree. I'm with you on the whole capitalism trip, because I feel like that's what separates racism from the real shit.
Dude, it's wild.
I was
Henny,
trying not to
hold
laugh.
on.
I've been
Hold on,
watching
we
him
gotta
for like
look
the
at-
last
I don't have my
hour.
glasses on, but
I've been
Henny
watching
is
him.
like,
you
y'all niggas
can't see it. He has to
niggas.
turn the camera to him. I don't know if he's
I
gonna
got
do
the
that.
camera on him.
Y'all
so
caught
whether
him
Nah,
with his
they're not
eyes
gonna see
open,
him.
but
They're
he
not
had
gonna
his
see.
eyes closed for a good little minute. And just
Listen.
rocking back and forth. slow.
Yo,
Henny done hit the bong a couple times, so
right,
he's like
is too
vibing.
zooted. All
But
right,
he's
so with
basically
that
telling us we
being
need to wrap up.
said, all right, look, because we about to go into a whole nother set. We're going to
Yeah.
save that piece.
Yeah, so
We're going to talk about capitalism in the workplace. We're going to do that next week.
Yeah, we need to.
Capitalism in the workplace next
Fuck
week.
capitalism.
Straight up and back the fuck down.
Period.
That part.
Period. Even though that's how I make my money. Fuck you.
Fuck, you look,
Because I hate it.
straight up. So you have been chilling with Clicked Up the podcast. If you don't know, you can like us anywhere. CLIQU_DUP. Anywhere. We're the only ones. If you want to hang out with us, if you want to be seen, if you want to be heard, man, you want to be clicked up with the best. It's us. Maya, art by Maya, the mixologist,
Period.
beats by Henny, your boy Jive English, man. We are in the whole building.
Ow.
Shutting it down.
Mention our special guest.
Thank you for the amazing energy from Ernestine Purdy, EP.
EP. She gotta come back because
She gotta have her.
listen, we gave Abdul.
Okay, so wait.
Two.
Before
We gave him
we
2
before we
tries.
officially close, how did you come about your name?
Yes.
What, EP?
Yeah.
Oh, Keith Bean gave it to me.
Did he?
Hey, yeah, it's my first and last name, Ernestine Purdy.
Yes.
So let's call you EP.
Period. EP.
Because when I hear EP, I think of extended playlist. So I'm just
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
My voice when you hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Period. I love it. I love it. I
Most
think it's a vibe.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yo, from SSU to 93.1. all the way to her own book and her own legacy on her own terms. Y'all give it up for our amazing guest, EP.
EP, she gotta come back again.
Check out that book, Conversation.
She gotta yes.
You should definitely come back when your book
Specifically-
is completely finished.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're gonna
gotta
do. We're gonna have you back when your book is out. We're gonna have a release right here.
Or at least when
Cliqu'd.
it's finished. It ain't gotta be.
It's finished. We just waiting for it to be edited.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, once you get to that stage, we gotta come back and we gotta have a real cookout with some motherfucking double eggs.
We're gonna be in the backyard with
What I'm gonna
it.
do is get the book and then give it to you guys.
Yeah,
so
We read it and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna speak on it. That's what we're gonna
Yes.
do. Game.
And we some readers. We like
Yeah.
so we'll
I'm trying to steal Henny's book right now.
Period. Dark psychology.
Dark Psychology. I've been trying to steal his book.
Yeah.
I was gonna read a quote out of it, but we went some different directions today.
We did.
But we're gonna do it next time. So thank you guys out there in podcast land. You have been
Podcast
chilling with Clicked Up the Podcast. You will see us in and about Savannah doing our things. We have more shows coming up. Soigné open mic coming up. We're gonna be in Millen, Georgia soon doing our Travelers Edition. Man, we're gonna be doing a bunch of things, man. So hang out with your boy Art by Maya, Rachel Randall, the mixologist, Jive English. Yo, check us out, man. We're gonna be doing a bunch of things, man. We have been having a ball and a blast. Drives over and get pulled over. Peace. Here she goes.
Watch this. That's a new thing on TikTok with Usher. Watch this. Okay.
I already know. Listen, I've been trying.
Hit the button.
Yes.
Take us off. Take us off. Take us
We should try
off.
his little challenge.
Test
them vocals.
Yes. We can do a podcast. Watch this.
Dead ass.
All right, we out. We out.
I gotta say.
That was lit, you guys.
Yeah, it was. And it was smooth.
Yes, yo, for real, you gotta come back.
I am.
We had the last guy come back and we looked at him about the same shit. I feel kind of bad because we didn't have a real interview for him.
Why? We should be a real interview.
We got caught up in just the conversation, but we didn't even get to talk about him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we